always like how Stephen Fry introduces QI?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I
Oh,
can't do it very
that.
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I guess he doesn't do it anymore, though, does he? It's Sandy Togsvig. Is that her name?
yeah. Have you watched any with her?
Yeah, quite a few. I think I've seen every series apart from maybe the last couple, the last one or
Really?
two, maybe. Yeah, I watch QI.
You
Whenever there's a new series, I always watch it.
you watch it on
I've
iPlayer?
watched every single one. Let's just say that.
You watch it on iPlayer?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Alright.
must be.
Probably, yeah, sure, maybe. Yeah, almost definitely. Yeah.
Sure.
Very good. Very good. Alright. How have you been? How
All
cold are
right.
you?
Not that cold, but just I've got a very warm hot water bottle underneath my legs, so
Good.
staying
Good.
warm, staying warm.
Did you have a hot water bottle when it was freezing? I assume you did.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright. Is that a different one to the one you put cold in then? Because doesn't cold ruin the inner lining of a water
Yeah,
bottle?
you're supposed to. Whenever it gets cold, you're supposed to empty it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work something
Right.
out. 16.
Oh, so you mean even if when the water in the actual water bottle gets cold from the boiling, you're supposed to empty it as well?
Yeah. Eventually, like let's just say this: if you have a hot water bottle at night,
Yeah.
and then if you don't empty it in the morning and you leave it in the water all day, it ruins the lining. Yeah, because it'll get
Oh,
cold.
well,
I'm not
Indy's
sure what the
definitely
logic
ruined her
is,
lining
but
for all of her water bottles for sure.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure what the logic is there, but I know it's a thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, Jay,
Yeah.
we didn't get a chance to record over Christmas, so this
The
is
last
our
time we recorded
post-Christmas.
was the 12th of December, which was exactly 32 days ago, I think.
Wow.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, sure. Like a month ago.
4 weeks ago.
Quite long then.
Yeah.
Too long. Okay. Lot to catch up on.
I guess so.
So, my original plan was to do a pre-Christmas episode, which I actually just cut out of the editing, so nobody would ever know that. But
Ugh.
just find my pen. Oh, I've lost my bloody pen. But since we are here now, what
Hey
I'm more
now,
interested in
hey
now
now.
is
This is what dreams are made of. What's that from?
You tell me.
Is that High School Musical?
Is it?
I think so. Hey now, hey now. This is dreams. I need to Google it. I'll find out.
All right. Do a Shazam. Hey now.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Jay, if I am delayed in my reply to you, it's just a connection. I'm just letting you know,
Okay.
because when I'm
CPU
editing,
is
I'm
sort
like,
of like a 7 out of 10 right now in terms of how good it's behaving.
okay,
Could be worse,
Alright.
could be better.
okay. Do you want to do anything about it?
No, it's fine. It's fine at the minute.
Alright.
I think if we
Yeah,
went
I
to a
was just
bit more of
saying
a
that.
heavy background, it might be different.
Nah, that's fine. Well, we'll see, because I am gonna have to share my screen at some point, so
We'll see. We'll see
how
what
that
happens.
goes.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, then I guess first of all, what did you play over Christmas?
What did I play? Well, initially it was Witcher 3 I was playing primarily. That was
And
the
how did that go with
that
the
was
new
the
update, right?
initial. Yeah, the new update, which I know. I mean, we've spoken about at some point. You weren't too much of a fan of, were you?
I think it looks good and it runs smooth and all that.
But, I mean,
It's
you've
like the
finished
resolution's
Witcher
good.
3, so it's kind of like you don't really have much else to do, you know.
Correct.
There's no
I
real
actually
reason
sold
for
it
you to
today.
come back. Yeah, okay. How much did you
I
get
sold
for
it
it?
to CX.
Probably not.
Seven
That's
quid.
not too bad, I guess.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jay. I think I bought it for like a.
I mean, you can buy it now
genuine,
for 5, so just
I was
sort
going to say, I
you
think
know.
I thought I bought it for like a £5, but I'm probably mistaken about that.
Mm.
But anyway, probably one of the best values I've ever gotten. But yeah, I've actually sold it now. But what I was going to say to you is that it runs. Generally speaking, the game runs worse than I remember it. But obviously, we're talking about a game that came out in 2015. So what did you think about it?
Well, it was sort of my first time playing it seriously, and I knew I wasn't really playing it for achievement-wise necessarily. I was just sort of playing it for the story.
Yeah.
I got about 20 hours in, and I wasn't like, I mean, I sort of said this to you, I wasn't like fed up necessarily, just sort of like, it's a bit of a slog, really. Like, it is a very, like, it's a sort of almost like a boomer's RPG. Like, it's a
Okay.
sort of RPG that people who were born in the 70s might enjoy. Like, I feel like the people who made this
Why do you
game are
say that?
probably in their 30s and 40s.
Why do you say that? You
It
think it's
just it
designed for
just has a
like
very
gamers who are
old
now old?
it has a very old frame to it, like a very sort of like almost like a Dungeons and Dragons type sort of level of fantasy to it that kind of makes it feel a bit not robotic, but just sort of like we've seen it all before kind of thing.
As in the same, effectively same shit, different day.
Yeah, I guess so, but not in a bad way. Like
Sure.
it's definitely like I think when it came out, it almost feels like Witcher 3 almost has a life expectancy to a degree. Like it's timeless, but I think with the amount of time it's been out now, it sort of almost feels like there's so much else that kind of can fill the same gap, and you may maybe have more fun with it. I mean, this is like personal preference, obviously, but
Do you think
I'll
that
get
part
around
of
to finishing it. But it's a bit of a slog. Like it just feels a bit like you know grinding.
so is in I'm struggling.
Yeah, I kind of
Do you
can't
can't?
even know. I don't even really know why. It's just more of a feeling than anything else.
Yeah, sure. So like, look, it sounds at the end of the day, it sounds like obviously the game's been out for a few years now. You've played, completed, completely smashed and demolished Cyberpunk, which is
Yeah,
a newer game in
I
every
much prefer to
respect.
say I much prefer Cyberpunk over Witcher 3. Much prefer it.
So maybe it's just a case that Witcher 3 is just starting to show its age a bit,
Yeah,
perhaps.
I think that's yeah. If it wasn't for this update, I probably wouldn't be playing it at all.
Wow.
So the update heavily made the game better.
See, what I would argue that makes it timeless is actually the execution of it all, not necessarily gameplay,
Yes. I think
but
it's more the actual like.
the
I think the bits I
characters, the
enjoyed the
delivery.
most was actually probably the story and the missions. I think like the top tier part of the game is actually like the story and the dialogue
100%.
and the characters. Like the characters
Yeah.
carry the fuck out of that game. I actually
Yeah,
think the combat is
100%.
one of the weakest parts of the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone says. I didn't feel it at the time that I played it, but it probably is, to be fair.
Super weak
Yeah.
in comparison to the rest of it. It is a very story, dialogue, and character heavy game. But
Yeah.
yeah what I loved about it. I also like the world as well. The world is actually pretty nice.
So how far did you get? Do you remember
Oh
if you got to
God.
Velen? Did you get to
Yeah, I
the
got to
swampy bog
Velen.
thing?
I got to the part where Siri has come in contact with Dandelion,
Yeah.
and I think we're sort of finding out. We're trying to find where Dandelion is. Basically, I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, sure.
So I recently did the mission where you have to go in the bathhouse, and you have to go through the sort of
Speak to Dijkstra,
toxic
right?
sewers and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know all that kind of stuff.
So you're in Novigrad, I think. You're in the
Yeah,
big fucking city.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Sweet.
I am kind of following the achievements. Like I'm getting all of the Gwent cards and doing all the missable
Nice.
stuff. But I think the achievement I'm really not fussed about is doing it on hard. Like I'm not doing that. If anything, it makes the worst part of the game 10 times worse. That being the combat.
Sure.
Like it just makes the combat. Like I honestly, I think playing it on hard, I wouldn't even want to touch it. It's just boring at that point. Like I'm
It's
just all about the story.
as I said, Jay, it was really an afterthought for me doing it on the hard. I just thought, well, look, I enjoyed this game a lot, and actually, basically, what happened was, there was a kind of quick resume feature on Xbox One, Jay. I don't know if you remember this, but you could have it so that if you kept a disc running, you could actually jump back into the game and it just load up. Only one game though, if it's
Yeah, that's basically
the
what
only
you've
game
got
loaded.
now, but without it only being one game. It's now multiple games,
Correct.
right? Like 2 or 3.
Correct, or if not more, right?
I think I've
But
only
the
ever done
problem I
2.
had was that it glitched some of my achievements, so I had to go back and finish some achievements. But they were in the middle of the game, if not 3/4 of the way. So it was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to have to do this again, Jobbo, and the great cards as well. So that made me just think, well, I'll just wrap it all up in one. I'll do these glitchy achievements and I'll do the hard difficulty, and that's what I did. But yeah, I mean, if you don't fancy it, you don't fancy it. I don't suppose you'll ever go back now, will you?
God, it's going to be hard, especially with this year stuff
Sure,
coming
yeah.
up. I mean, to be honest, the first few months this year is packed for me. Like the first 4 months, I'm going to be playing about 4 or 5, maybe 6 games. Like, I got quite a few. Most of them on Game Pass, honestly.
Absolutely. On The Witcher 3, Jay, were you balancing story and side missions? Were you doing too many side missions?
Oh yeah, no, it was main mission heavy. So I'd say, actually, funnily enough, I was following a guide. There's a almost 7 hour guide where if you follow the guide, you will have every single achievement by the end. So I was basically, it's almost like a speed run of the main story with the required side missions that for achievements, like the achievements where you've got to kill certain bosses and stuff.
Sure.
Like I'd do the side missions of that, you know. So I wasn't doing every side mission, but I was doing the majority.
Sure.
So yeah, I will go back. It's gonna be a while. It's probably gonna be another 8 years.
Oh my god. All right. Well, better late than never. Better late than never.
Oh, you know.
So what? Did you play anything else over Christmas?
No. It was primarily just watching movies and TV, catching up on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything good?
Yeah, a bunch of horror movies that I kind of was in the mood for.
Okay.
Glass Onion came out, so that was like a need.
Fantastic.
That was a must.
Absolutely fantastic.
There was like 2 or 3 movies that were sort of like, you know, reviewed well, so I was like, okay. And then like a few other hidden gems that not a lot of people know about, but are like fantastic. So yeah, just, you know, the usual, catching up on what I needed to catch up on, basically.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right.
What about yourself?
What about me?
I mean, you've at this point, I kind of like, I'm not envious of you, but it's funny, like you'll talk about not having enough time to play games, but you've played like 6 or 7 games over the last month, and you are continuing to like jump back and forth in between them. It blows my mind. I can't. I have to play. I can't play more than one game. It's one game. I'm like, to me, it's like, it's the equivalent of like listening to like having your playlist of songs on shuffle. I can't do that. I have to listen to an album from start to finish, and then the next album start to finish. I can't go back and forth.
All right, well, let me tell you my logic then.
Please.
Right. So 2 reasons for that, Jay. Reason one, it depends on what I feel like. Some days I'll feel like playing this. Some days I feel like playing that. Okay.
Sure.
Now, in that respect, Jay, I'm not gonna feel like I want to play 5 different games, right? Like it could be any one of the 5. No, I'll probably have 1 or 2 where I'm like, I fancy playing that, or I fancy playing that. Now, the reason that you see me bouncing around so much is that because I've gone in my library and I've gone, actually, I fancy playing that again or trying that again. So what I'll do is I'll download it and I'll play it for 10 minutes. And then I'll go, fucking no chance am I playing this again. Delete.
Okay.
It goes in my back catalogue.
Yeah, and you come back to it eventually. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I can understand.
So, for instance,
that. I mean, I kind of do that, but maybe on a smaller scale.
Sure. An example, Medal of Honor Airborne.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was, right? And the graphics were great at the time. So I jumped into that, fancied seeing what it was all about. So jumped in. Jay, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do what?
The controls for that game are so bad.
Yeah, I know. At the time, it was amazing. It was sort of like, oh, this game that was also coming out around, like, COD was sort of really, really young and not great, kind of.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I remember playing it on PS2. I don't remember playing it on Xbox, but.
Oh, the 360 version was class, to be fair. Okay. But yeah, controls awful. So that was an example of a game where I'm like, yeah, no. So yeah.
Okay.
So what did I play, Jay? All right.
Too much.
Well, this is where some of my dive goes in here. Yes, it does. Yeah. Right. So I'll break it down then. So this is not what I'm playing at the moment. This is what I played over Christmas.
Oh.
Jay, this is going to be a long story for you, okay?
I'm here.
So, just fucking, just slap me if I'm going on too much, right?
Okay.
I've spoken to you a lot about not wanting to play things on hard/veteran, right? We've talked about this a lot. Story ratio, gameplay ratio, difficulty ratio, where does that all sit, right? Maybe you want a challenge in Dark Souls, that's what it's there for. You don't want a challenge in Ghost of Tsushima, right? Interestingly enough, I play goes like, as in you like to play those games on story, like difficulty or easy difficulty, right?
We talk about before, the ratio of story to gameplay, and a lot of the times the gameplay is either has like a built-in difficulty, i.e. Elden Ring, Dark Souls, like all those. This has built-in difficulty. So why would you want to like change the difficulty on anything that already has some sort of like thing like that? Or if a game has like amazing story and you don't want the bad combat or even just the combat to get in the way of that, just put it on easy, put it on story mode, and you'll enjoy the game 10 times more.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Well, at least that's your perspective, right?
That's kind of how I look at it.
That's
but
pretty
it
much
depends. It depends. There's very niche circumstances which I'll go on to later where they can sort of meld and become an amazing hybrid. But yeah.
Sure. And I think also, to be fair, like if you buy a 70 quid game, for instance, maybe you want to play it on hard so it lasts longer, like a story game, I mean, right? Like if you get Miles Morales brand new, maybe you're thinking, well, actually, I might get a bit more value for my buck here if I do play on hard because it'll take me twice as long, sort of.
Tell you what, you made a great example there. Yeah, I think the Spider-Man PS4 game was probably one of the few examples I can think of where hard is necessary. Like playing that on hard is 100% worth it. I've completed that game I think 3 or 4 times. Once on easy, and then I think 2 or 3 times on hard, because it's that fun. It's so good. And whereas that's the thing, the combat in that game is amazing. So playing it on hard makes it feel like a necessary and very rewarding challenge. Totally. I think the rewarding aspect of it is what makes it actually fun. If it's not rewarding and it's just like obnoxiously hard, no. Playing it on easy.
Yeah, I get that. And also, like you say, like the game's almost got to have the right combat to be built. Like, yes, you can play it on easy, but you can also play it on hard. Like, it's not like like Skyrim is unplayable on the hardest difficulty, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, the combat is kind of a bit mid, though, I will say. I've always hated that, like Oblivion Skyrim combat. It's kind of annoyed me for a long time.
Just a bit basic, you mean?
It just feels like it could be so much better.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Well, soon you'll have space guns, Jay. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Trust me, that's probably my definitely my top 3 most anticipated games of this year.
Well, that's fucking changed since last time I spoke to you.
Why? Are you joking?
No, I mean, like, I know you're looking forward to it, but I definitely thought you had some other games you're looking forward to more.
Top 3, it's up there. Well, actually, we'll have to discuss that at some point. I'll see. We might have to discuss that later.
Yeah, we will. We'll do it next week if you want. Top 5 games most anticipated.
Most anticipated of this year, yeah.
Cool. All right. So what's my story? So my story is, Jay, last time we had a podcast, which was a month ago, believe it or not, I actually spoke to you about replaying some of the old cards, and I played through World at War. Don't know if you remember this.
Yes.
So you probably already know this because I know you look at my achievements and I look at yours.
I do. I look at them regularly. You're saved to my homepage, so I check your profile a lot.
So you're saved to mine as well. Jay, I don't know what's happened. Okay, I don't know what's happened in the last year. I've gotten into Bloodborne, platinumed it, and I'm now playing Dark Souls 1.
Amazing
and
game.
I've finished Demon's Souls. Don't know what's going on. Okay, just clearly something is clicking in my old brain.
Yeah.
Now something else has clicked, and I have completed 4 COD campaigns on Veteran for the first time ever.
Yeah, I feel like once you've done one, the rest of them feel a lot easier. Because like you say, it almost clicks. You're like, oh, this is the level of skill I need to be able to do it. I can do it again, kind of thing. Like it's not as hard as you think, to be honest.
Like if you finish Dark Souls or Souls-like game, I feel like the others are possible in a way, and they're a bit easier.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, once you've done one, you can do the rest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's just confidence, honestly.
So I just want to try and give you an idea of what was going on in my brain, to be honest, Jay. I don't really know what was really, but I think I was looking for a bit of a challenge. And I know that I've said multiple times to you, like I don't want to do it on Veteran. I don't want to spend hours and hours on Veteran. I think what happened was I was sort of looking at it. I was seeing, percentages in terms of how many people have done it. And I was like, I could definitely do this. I've done Modern Warfare. I did the OG Modern Warfare 2 on Veteran, the only one I ever finished on Veteran. Okay. So I was looking at, lists and stuff, and apparently the hardest one is World at War. So I'm thinking in my mind, if I can do that one, I can do any of them. That's kind of my thinking, right?
Okay.
Turns out that basically World at War, Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 1 are all sort of up there in terms of difficulty. But anyway, so then I'm like, okay, well, what's the hardest? You're going to think this is really weird. What's the hardest mission on World at War on Veteran? Because if I can do that, I can do any other mission on Veteran.
Sure.
That's kind of my logic. And what I don't want to do, Jay, is get 3/4 of the way through the campaign, get to the hardest mission, and then be like, I don't want to do it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
So, so I did the hardest missions first. So I did Heart of the Reich Land. I don't know if you remember it. It's the one where you literally storm the Reich in Berlin in World at War.
Okay.
And it's a bitch. And Jay, I definitely got frustrated in a couple of areas, but I think Bloodborne has taught me this A to B mentality, which is just overtaking my life, where all you got to think about is getting to the next checkpoint. That's all you got to do. You haven't got to finish the mission. All you've got to do
it's all about checkpoints.
is get to the next checkpoint.
If you think about it, is exactly the same as Dark Souls. It's get to the next checkpoint and you're fine.
Exactly. So in that respect, played the mission. I think it took me an hour, maybe less, and I did it. And I was like, well, shit. Okay. And then I did the whole campaign. And I was like, okay. And what I liked about it, Jay, was that it was really engaging my mind strategically. Like, I wasn't just like, what's the story? What's the story? It was like, okay, he's up there, he's there, he's there.
Yeah,
okay,
a lot of it is
that
like,
guy fucking kills me.
It's almost like
okay,
a boss battle every mission, because you have to like almost learn the moves, right?
Exactly.
Like where the enemies spawn from. Like there was a couple of missions I know on Veteran where you had to throw a grenade at exactly the right moment. If not, you just could not get past the next bit.
Right.
Like the amount of times I had to like follow guides and see that kind of stuff, it was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and you might get to a point where like they're infinitely respawning,
Yes,
so you
and
have to like time it right.
Yeah. A lot of it's just like, it's almost like a puzzle. It's like one of those sort of like platformery type things where there's like a swinging axe. You've got to move at the right moment.
Right, literally, which
like
Bloodborne has.
Exactly. It's that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So I just, and apart from that mission, Jay, but like, believe it or not, I wasn't actually getting that frustrated at doing this on Veteran. I can't really explain it. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't hard, and it took me quite a few attempts, but I wasn't like sitting there wanting to throw the controller at the TV. I was just thinking, oh, okay, well, I'll just do that next time, or I'll just do this next time. I don't know whether you must get a bit like that, because I feel like you don't really get frustrated at like Elden Ring and stuff.
No, I find it I have to be in a very particularly bad mood that day to get frustrated at a game. But I was thinking like FPS games are almost like a muscle. Like once you've played an FPS game for like a decent amount of time, and then you leave it for like a couple of months and come back, you'll be awful. Like it really is. You kind of have to flex that muscle a lot. Just like I'd imagine, let's say you got stuck on a mission in Veteran now, and you came back to it a month later, you'd probably either beginner's luck get past it, or you'd find it 10 times harder, just because like your aiming is just off, because you're not like the muscle memory just is gone, you know.
And on that point, Jay,
it's a good thing you're still playing it.
Me and Will, because he's playing him as well for the first time on Veteran, actually, or a lot of them. We both agreed that by the time we'd finished these campaigns on Veteran, I was 10 times the player I was when I started.
Yeah.
10 times. When I started, it was like I hadn't played COD before, genuinely.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much of an improvement you can see just playing for a little while, and fairly regularly too. Yeah, no, it makes a big difference.
And by the time I got to the later campaigns, I was just way better. I really was, to the point where I'd even do like 1 or 2 missions and not even die. So yeah, it was like not hard missions, just a mission. So it's been a really exciting time for me in that respect. So I did World at War. I told you before, aged brilliantly. I then did. I tell a lie, Gwen. I tell a lie.
Okay.
The first one I did. That's all still true. The first one I did though was Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, because that was the one I really wanted to finish.
Okay.
I'd already done a few missions on Veteran, and I still hold that for the favela mission in Brazil is still the hardest fucking mission in that game, which is the one I was stuck on. That mission's a bitch. I hate it. But when I got past, I just sat down one night, Jay. I literally was like, right, fuck it. I don't want to play anything else. I want to do this on veteran. Like if I do this for an hour and I'm like, I can't do it, fine. But if I can get past this point, this point, and this point, all I got to do is get to the next checkpoint and I'm done. And I did it, and I was super, 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 super happy. And then I just fucking ran through that campaign like no one's business. And I was like, holy shit, it has never been this easy. And I wonder whether, Jay, do you think that's because like we do think more strategically as we're older? Because I never used the strategies and tactics that I used to like. I don't mean it's easy, but it's a hell of a lot easier it was than when I was 14, 15 years old. I genuinely feel like I'm playing COD better now than I ever have in terms of campaign. I'm not talking about reactions and reflexes online, but in terms of campaign strat, I feel better than ever, frankly.
I feel like my best time with that was when I was playing it, like you say, 13, 14.
So you're the opposite, actually.
I think if I went to it now, I don't know if I'd be worse. I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
Fair.
But yeah, COD has changed so much that I don't know if I'd even be good at it anymore, to be honest.
Funny you say that, Jay. We'll come on to that in a bit. So let me just quickly finish the spiel. So then I did Modern Warfare 1 Remastered. Very difficult. That game has a couple of missions, Jay. No fighting in the war room. It's horrible.
Yeah, that one was probably my favourite to do, just because of like
Really?
how challenging it was. Yeah,
and
I still think that's my favourite campaign actually out of all of them.
It's a strong argument, Jay. It's a strong argument.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something else, Jay. Mile High Club, that is actually the hardest veteran mission there is. 100%.
Once you know the strategy, it's actually like a lot easier. I even did this. I did a challenge to myself where I said, "Can I do it 2 times or 3 times in a row?" And I did it twice in a row, and I was like, "Yes."
Are you serious?
Yeah. That was what I did. Like once you know the strategy, it's just like insane.
That's a hard.
But I mean, that was like I don't know. Like when I was younger, I just sort of had that brain power, but I feel like it's starting to leave. I don't know.
Did you have like the sensitivity on ridiculous high way back when you used to play
No, I've always had sensitivity on sort of like 1 above default or something.
You're joking.
Like I barely change it. No, I barely change it.
How the hell do you shoot quick enough?
I think I might have had to change it maybe for that. From what I can remember, I seem to remember that being part of the strategy. Like the guy was like, "Yeah, just change the sensitivity slightly higher than you'd usually have it." And I had to sort of get used to it after a while. But
fair enough.
But yeah, that was good times. We're bringing up some good memories right now.
Jay, it was an absolute pleasure to replay these campaigns. They aged well, and I know now that I've played through them again, it wasn't just us being young, just that. These campaigns are fantastic still.
That is good to know, because I'm always worried about that, like going back to something that you know was good when you're young and being like, "Oh, would it actually be good now?" I'm not sure.
And some things aren't, right? Some things like. Ooh.
That's what I'm worried about. Yeah, I'm worried if I ever replay a game, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that."
Should not have said that.
Should not have said that.
And then did Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Jay, a quick word on Black Ops 2. I remembered it better than I thought. Not that great. Like, it's fine. Okay. But a lot of people online kind of praise it as the last, real incredible. Yeah. It's not incredible.
I think Black Ops 3 and 4 were not as good as 1 and 2.
Definitely.
So it fell off massively after 2.
For me, it genuinely goes Modern Warfare 1, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. It's kind of those are the games. Those are the games for me.
I have to check a list to remind myself.
But that's the order they came out in as well, by the way. So for me, that's the games. I also think I still prefer the Modern Warfare campaigns to World at War and Black Ops, just because I prefer their style. Black Ops 1 and World at War are different styles, and you definitely notice that. But that's me done, Jay. Okay. That's me done. So let's talk about what we're playing at the moment after the news, and let's move on to the news. Do you want to quickly talk about COD before we do that?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I think
I've got a quick hit for you, Jay. A quick idea. Yeah.
Hit me.
I've got an idea.
Uh-oh.
I'm not trying to be negative, but I am.
Negative Nancy over here.
Negative Nancy. Will 2023 be the most disappointing year in games in a long time?
No.
Okay.
If anything, it's probably the year I'm looking. I haven't felt this good about a year in a while.
Sure.
But I feel like me and you are at the point now where we've been let down so much that we have to expect it every time. If not, we're just going to get even more disappointed. Like getting too excited or having too high hopes for a game nowadays just ruins it a lot of the time. Because if it's bad and you hope it's good, it's then worse than you ever thought it was, and it just ruins it. Whereas if we just keep
Sure.
your expectations low, man. I've always I say always. I've been doing that a lot more over the last couple of years, and it helps.
So here's my theory, Jay. I know there's a lot coming out this year, and by the odds, some of those are going to hit, right? Like Street Fighter 6, whatever. My only concern is that I think a lot of those games could not hit, if that makes sense. Hogwarts Legacy could be a bit of a dud, for instance.
Just funny, I've made like a playlist on YouTube, like every single gameplay video that's come out for that game that's been like officially released. It's sort of like before the game comes out, watch them all and sort of understand them. You know how I am. I study a game before it comes out, right?
Yeah.
Like I studied for Midnight Suns for like about a month before it came out and everything. Where was I going with that? So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that during that month or that like couple of days or week that I watch all those videos, that'll then sort of give me more of an idea of how much I'm going to enjoy the game. I can already tell I'm going to enjoy it a lot just based from what I've seen, but I have a feeling it can't be bad. Like it's a fully fledged Harry Potter game, and it's a giant map, and you can fly about, and it's like wands and fucking everything we've ever wanted from Harry Potter as a game.
It's true. I don't think it'll be bad unless it's broke, Jay. But my concern
is
maybe I think you might contest this. My concern is it'll be a 7 out of 10. That's my concern.
Well, I can give you a bit of hope already.
Okay.
So it seems to me that a lot of game companies are releasing their specs for their PC specs for their games, and also whether or not the game is going to run at 60 4K a lot earlier than usual. Because they've already Hogwarts Legacy has already released all that information, and a lot of the time that information either comes out a couple of days, the day of, or a couple of days after the game comes out.
Okay.
And they've already released all that information, so we know for a fact this game's going to be 60 frames 4K on console. It's going to have a performance mode, so
that's nice.
That's good.
That's good to know.
It's going to run.
Has it gone gold yet, Jay? Do you know?
Oh, it has to have done. It's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Is it start of Feb or like middle of Feb, isn't it?
It's like I think it's February 7th.
Shit, that is close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally like 3 weeks away.
Right, okay. And the other kind of games on this example, Jay. Now, I don't want to wish this on it. You know how much I love Bethesda, but Starfield could not hit as big as maybe they want it to. Is all I'm saying. So I'm a bit conscious of it being a disappointing year. That's all.
Yeah, it says it's gone gold. I'm not sure when. I think it was in December.
All right, cool. That's fine.
Oh, that's weird.
What?
It was revealed that the game will finally arrive in February 2023 with the release date for Nintendo Switch to be revealed later. Oh, this is interesting. Hogwarts Legacy isn't actually coming out on previous gen until April.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That's really fucking good. I'm glad about that. That means that they're not fucking about with having to sort out the previous gen to muck up this one. Looks like they're learning from people's mistakes.
Definitely.
I think Hogwarts Legacy is honestly one of my most anticipated games this year. Like, it's I think my expectations are low still because they have to be.
But you're excited.
But I'd say I'm hoping it's going to be more of a. I think honestly it could be a 10 out of 10.
Nah, not a chance.
I think it could be.
Not a chance.
Do you know what's funny? I don't think it will either get a 9 or a 10 just because of the fact that it's Harry Potter and everything that's happened with JK. I don't think. I genuinely think IGN is reluctant to release any videos about Hogwarts Legacy, but they're only doing it because it makes money. I can almost guarantee you the people who are making those videos are like, oh, they're like seething while they're editing the video, you know? because they're so fucking
Do we
liberal.
have
It's like
to?
burning their skin in their eyes while they
Yeah,
fucking
literally.
have to look at it.
Do you know what, dude? There's a couple of gaming podcasts out there. I've talked about them before. You can feel that they're scared to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's because people at this point have been fired because of that game, and it's not even out yet. Someone was talking about pre-ordering the game on their Twitter account, and they got fired from their job because of that. Not even a joke.
Yeah, that's fucking
not even
mad.
a joke. I'm being dead serious. Someone got fired because they talked about pre-ordering it. That's like, the world we live in is insane.
What we'll say, Jay, you can give our first official 10 out of 10 if you want to Hogwarts Legacy.
I mean, I hope so.
You know what I mean?
Oh, there's been other games that are 10 out of 10 for me.
I know, but just to, give JK due credit, you know what I mean?
I hope that game makes the most money of this year. I really do. I think that and Starfield will be the two most money out of this year for games. Actually, probably Final Fantasy.
Starfield maybe not though, mate, because it'll be on Game Pass, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not sure how they figure that out though. Oh, that's true. It is Xbox exclusive. Yeah. Huh.
I keep forgetting that. Right, Jay, let's move on to the news then, if you're happy to do so. We've got 3 stories this week. Story number 1. Jay, why do you punish me with these movies? Why? Why?
I don't know. It looked interesting. I thought we'll just chat about it for a second.
All right. Death Stranding movie in the works from Kojima Productions and Barbarian's Hammerstone Studios.
Yeah.
This comes from, bear with me on this, reported by Deadline. The film is being fully financed by Hammerstone Studios. Yeah, please, Jay.
It almost feels like this could be a movie or a TV show. But I'm not sure if they're going to just be doing the actual story of the first game, or if it's going to be if it's going to be set in a whole different thing. I'm not even sure.
I've got a quote here that says it will introduce new elements and characters within the Death Stranding universe. So it sounds like it will contribute in some way.
That's good. I'm kind of glad about that. I'm glad it's not just Norman Reedus again.
Yeah, sure. My question, Jay,
world building,
universe building. I just don't see the need, considering that his games are essentially 8-hour movies anyway.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they want to, maybe Kojima wants to broaden his horizons a little bit. He's one of these people who has to innovate a lot, So
I get that.
He's just innovating.
Fair play. He do what he wants to do. I get it. I get it. And to be fair, we're seeing more successful crossovers. On this note, actually, Jay, something I spoke to Al about the other day. Let's look at the history of video game adaptations.
I'm glad you're talking about this, so I want to talk about this.
They're all shy, apart from 1 or 2, like Lara Croft.
Lara Croft is two of my favourite movies of all time. I've watched both of those movies at least 100 times each, minimum.
Clearly, there's more recent examples. The Cuphead show,
that was great.
Edge Runners,
Arcane, amazing, 10 out of 10.
All of these things, and then Jay, what I've also noticed, right? So here's my point, right? Here's my point. How can we have 20 years of pretty much shite, okay? And then Sony goes, right, we're going to set up our own multimedia studio and they're going to handle all the stuff in terms of movies, TVs, and documentaries about games. And then they have 3 knockouts in a row. Those being Uncharted movie in terms of gross revenue, not in terms of fucking quality. We then have the documentary from God of War 2018, which came out a few years ago, which has got 5 million views on YouTube and is the best fucking gaming documentary I've ever seen. And then they released The Last of Us TV show, and against all odds, apparently it's really good, which I still don't fucking believe, frankly.
Well, we'll see.
But everyone's giving it 9 or 10 out of 10, 4 or 5 stars. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
You forgot about Venom as well. Venom made over $1 billion, didn't it? So.
Thank you, Jay. Venom.
Terrible film. I genuinely think Venom 1 and 2 are 0 out of 10s. They're fucking awful.
What? Why did you watch the second one if you watched the first one?
I had to see how bad it was.
Oh, come on, man.
Second one's worse than the first one. I'd give it a -10.
I don't believe you.
It's honestly, it makes okay. This is a really good thing. If you meet someone new and if you want to get a judge of character on them, if you ask them, "Hey, did you watch the first Venom and the second Venom movie?" and they tell you it was amazing, Do not talk to that person ever again. Cut that person out of your fucking life. They are awful. Bad judgment.
What you should do,
Bad judgment.
What you should do is invite around. Do you want to watch the Venom movie? Oh,
And
yeah,
if they don't
really
throw
good.
up
Fuck off.
immediately, leave. Get out.
Do you want to watch Venom?
Leave the premises. Please. Oh god, that's how you know, man.
Jesus
that's how you know.
Christ.
That's how you get rid of the riffraff. Ask them
So
that.
my question, Jay, how does Sony just conjure up all these successful, like,
Yes.
you know, we can't do it for years.
I don't know, the
and
money,
then suddenly,
I guess.
Sony like fucking, oh yeah, we can do it all. We can do it all, mate. TV show, movie, we can do it all.
I guess a lot of it is IP, I guess, right?
Maybe.
It's just it could also be that the younger audience is there to like have it make money. I think there's a debate there, isn't there, about whether or not these things are actually any good versus how much money they make. Because people will watch them because of the IP, but because they'll watch them, they'll make a lot of money, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually a good thing. That's what always bugs me about movies that make a lot of money. It doesn't mean they're actually any good, just because it just means that people want to see if it was bad or not. And it was bad, but they still paid to see it because they had to know.
Bro, they paid to see it because the masses are dumb. The masses are dumb. They're buying FIFA every year, even though they tell me how bad it is. Yeah, I'm talking to you, mass. Right, let's move on.
Ugh.
Simon Pegg apparently is playing the headmaster Black in Hogwarts Legacy. Look at this.
Yes, he is a family member of the Black family, Sirius Black, and all that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Although he's actually a bad character in this because he's, you know, most of the Black family are evil. So.
Also, Jay, I don't know where this has come from, but we're looking at IGN. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Jay. Do you think that is a sign of the talent that they've attracted for this game, perhaps?
So, do you know what's funny? The first thing I thought of when I saw Simon Pegg was playing a character in this?
Go on.
I thought, how quickly is he going to get cancelled for this? And it hasn't seemed to have happened yet. It hasn't seemed to have happened, so I think we're all right.
Jay, I think
Simon Pegg is untouchable, if you ask me.
The needle's moving, right? You can't.
Oh, I bloody hope so.
Well, if not, we'll fucking move it. So.
Yeah.
But on my question, Jay, do you think this might show a sign of the talent they've got for this game, perhaps?
Well, they haven't necessarily got like big names from what I've seen. They released.
This is the first time we've heard about Simon Pegg, so maybe they do. They've just
they released like a thing the other day on their social media showing off all the voice actors, or like a lot of the voice actors for the game, and they're all fairly unknown. So.
Okay.
They're like there was like the if you pick the female character in the game, the female voice is like a fairly well known YouTuber. Can't remember her name. She was like around many years ago, but she's like an actress as well. I want to say the male voice for your creator character is quite a young up and coming actor, and then the rest of them are all sort of like fairly random voice actors. Like they're sort of not really. I mean, unless you know much about voice acting, you're probably not going to know who they are.
Okay.
There's no like massive name. I think Simon Pegg's the biggest name in there from what I've seen. It'd be cool if there were more, but you know, I don't feel there needs. That's not the pull of the game. The pull of the game is the fact that it's Harry Potter and that world. You know. Like they could have just all unknowns for voice acting, and it would still be amazing. I imagine. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Simon Pegg plays this very like he's headmaster of Hogwarts. He's a Slytherin. I think he's actually the first Slytherin headmaster, other than Snape in the future, obviously. But he's a bit of a what's the word? Dunce. Like he's sort of like very posh and very sort of like aristocrat-y and well-to-do. Like he's just more about trying to keep the black name like a goody two-shoes almost kind of.
Right.
Like he's evil, but he's always like prying in other people's business. Like he's a little bit
like upper class evil.
Yeah, like he's sort of a little bit like, you know, when in the Harry Potter movies where is it Crabbe and Goyle and Malfoy and I forgot the name of the caretaker, groundskeeper.
Mr. Filch.
Filch, yeah. Like remember when they were trying to get into the Room of Requirement?
Yeah.
and they were like sort of always trying to like get in the way of like their plans. That's kind of what this headmaster's like. He's sort of almost trying to get in the way of your plans. Like he's like the Team Rocket of the game, basically. You know,
Right.
like he's always there, like trying
I
to
like the
stop you
analogy.
getting to the next point of the story, kind of thing. So that's what it
Interesting.
seems like so far. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of glad
Interesting.
it's Simon Pegg. It's like, you know, it's quite a cool name
English
to be in
as
there.
well, which is cool.
Yeah,
obviously,
his accent for the game is quite, you know, posh and you know.
Well, obviously, you know, Harry Potter films have got a huge cast of English actors, so it's cool.
I was going to say, I'm kind of hoping
cool
every actor in this is British.
We'll see.
Because the only way you're going to have an American actor in a Harry Potter movie is if they're, you know, part of the American ministry.
Right.
So like all the Fantastic Beasts stuff, which I think is amazing, by the way. I love that they expanded the world. It's global, you know.
Well, let's not agree to disagree already, Jay.
Sure.
Next up, Ubisoft cancels. Ubisoft cancels 3 unannounced games and delays Skull and Bones
again
for the 6th time.
I mean, we kind of saw this coming, didn't we, to be honest?
This comes from a Ubisoft announcement. I know there's been quite a few... It's a press release.
Yeah.
I know there's quite a few commentary on this. Now, Jay, if you don't mind, I will quickly say my piece, if that's okay with you.
Please.
Firstly, I don't understand how Ubisoft can go from having all of these very rich games like For Honor, Six Siege, AC to this position. Secondly, Skull and Bones, please don't touch that with any fucking nearer TJ, because that game is poison and that game is not going to be good.
Yeah, I know.
Please.
That's the thing, the premise is amazing, but you know,
of course,
the execution just does not look very good at the moment.
A multiplayer AC Black Flag, AC4 Black Flag, who doesn't want that? I get that.
Everyone wants that.
So what? Seems this is bad, right, Jay? This is bad for us in terms of AC. But what's going on here?
It's weird. It almost feels like Ubisoft have sort of were supposed to be in development of about 3 or 4 different games right now that were all supposed to be bangers over the next like decade, essentially. And for some reason, they've just cancelled them all. Whether that be money problems or just because they're bad, I don't know. But to me, it's kind of weird, like spending like potentially between 3 to 6 years on a game and just cancelling it. It's like, what the fuck you been doing? I don't. Like, these games can't have been in development that long. If they've been in development any longer than a year, it was a massive waste of money. I mean, even a few months of development would be a waste of money, but you know.
As in, like, if they've been in direct development for 4 to 6 years, like, I guess your question is, what the hell are they doing, right?
Yeah.
Is that
What's the plan? Like, you're just going to release literally all they've got to release, from what I know, is AC.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's the only games they've announced.
And Skull and Bones, obviously.
And Skull and Bones, yeah. Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Ubisoft feel like they've sort of are like dragging themselves through the mud right now. Like they're just being forgotten about. Like nobody gives a shit about Ubisoft right now.
But as I mentioned though, Jay, right? Like at the same time, AC Valhalla is the biggest AC like ever.
Yeah, you know? It feels like AC is carrying Ubisoft right now. Well, along with Rainbow and
For Honor.
And For Honor, yeah.
But are people even still playing those games? You would know more than I.
Yeah, they're still playing them.
Okay.
They're definitely still playing them. I don't know why, but they're still playing them.
Alright, Jay, you ready to move on to the main event for today?
Yeah, I guess.
There's a reason I wanted to do this on a Saturday night, and that was for a certain vibe. Okay.
Vibe.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just find someone who's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TGO annual quiz of 2022.
Jesus
We're actually gonna do it in
Christ.
2023. But here we go, Jay. We didn't get to do a Christmas quiz, but I want to fucking do one anyway.
I wasn't expecting this, honestly. This is kind of cool.
And we're doing one. We did one last year. We're doing one this year. Okay.
Well, we did one 2 years ago. We're doing this year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to play along at home. Now, a lot of this is quite visual. Some of it's audio. Might get copyright strikes. Just bear with us, okay? There are 5 rounds of 5 questions, Jay.
Okay.
I have everything set up ready to go.
Uh-oh.
Everybody else, please feel free, as I say, play along at home, have a good time. I love quizzes. I think Jay likes questions too. I'm very excited to do this. Saturday night. Here we go. TGO quiz of 2022 in 2023 on the 14th of January. Jay, are you ready?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this at all. I honestly thought we'd be like chatting for another about my
15
games, and
minutes.
that'd be it.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
All right. Here we go. Round number 1.
Oh no.
What did they say? This is a round where you will have to give me the game based on a quote from the game. Okay?
Okay.
Question number 1. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
So I have to tell you what the game is.
Correct. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
I ain't got the foggiest.
Okay.
What is a man?
We'll move on to question 2, by the way, if you can't get it.
Pile of secrets.
Because I'll tell you all the answers at the end. Actually, that's a shout, Jay. I don't suppose you've got a pen and paper at hand, do you?
I mean, I can write stuff down on my phone, can't I?
Yeah, please do. No cheating as well, Jay. I know you won't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be hard.
Don't cheat. Right, if you could please write down your answers, Jay, I would very much appreciate it, because then we can just keep the flow going a bit more.
I'm just going to write pile of secrets just to remind myself what it is, and I'll come back to it.
Yeah, sure. Are you ready for me to move on to question 2?
Yeah, please.
Okay. It's a me, Mario.
Okay. Sure. I got that one. Okay.
Okay. Question number 3. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Almost a what? You cut out there.
Jill. Almost a Jill sandwich. You were almost a Jill sandwich. Like Jill the name.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. I have a guess for that, but
please.
But I don't think it's correct.
Okay.
Because there's only one Jill in the game that I know of, and I don't even think you'd be that smart to figure that out. We'll see.
Question number 4. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
That's annoying because that sounds familiar.
I tried to do a very, very bad impression there. I'll read it normally if you want. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. I'm kind of giving you a bit of how it goes in the game to give you a bit of a clue there.
Okay, I got a guess.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Question number 5. Would you kindly?
What the fuck is this? Would you kindly?
Yeah.
Is that it? How am I supposed to know that?
Right, guys, everyone listening, I want someone to clip this out.
Oh, hang on.
Jay,
I remember that one.
Easiest question on the whole
I remember
round.
that one. I remember that one. It took me a second. I remember.
Christ.
Do you know what's funny?
Right.
I've never actually completed that. So that's the fact that I know that is more about YouTube videos that I've watched than anything else.
Jay, one day we're gonna organise streams where you finish games you've never completed, because I think that'll be great.
Yes, I've started and got halfway through probably like 100 games.
Oh my god.
Easy. Just don't bother.
All right. Okay, here we go. Right, answers, Jay. You ready?
Yeah.
Any repeats?
No, I'm good. Can I just guess?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is gonna be wrong, but I think the first one is Fable.
It's not, I'm afraid.
What is it?
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh god, I don't know if I've even played that. I might have barely touched it.
A notoriously bad line.
Okay.
Alright.
Second one was obviously Super Mario Brothers, but which one it was, I don't know. I mean, it's any of them, isn't it?
Jay, you fell for the trap. It's Assassin's Creed 2 and your Uncle Mario.
Okay. This feels like a piss take. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I'll show you the phone.
Fuck you. I'll just say that. Fuck you. Piss take.
Have you got an answer for question 3?
Are we sure it's not April right now? I don't understand.
What are you saying? What do you mean?
April 1st. Yeah,
very
I
good,
have an
yeah.
answer, but it's wrong. Is it Resident Evil?
It is Resident Evil. Well done, Jay.
Yeah, that's the only Jill I know of.
Yeah, same. I
Holy
think.
crap!
Yeah.
That was a big guess right there. Bloody hell.
Knock out the park. Question number 4. Any ideas, Jay?
I think it's AC Origins.
Okay. It's
Or
not, I'm afraid.
What is it?
It's Half-Life 2.
Damn it. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm sure
Again,
if you saw the
haven't
clip, you'd
played it.
recognise it. I'm sure you would. But
Sure.
question number 5.
That's Bioshock.
It is Bioshock. Well done,
Okay.
Jay.
Sweet.
Right, you've got 2 points so far.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I mean, it's not great, is it? Right, question.
Screw you, dude. You're fucking money, dude.
Oh dear. Right, Jay, we've got a pixel perfect for the next round.
Okay.
Just 5 pixel perfects. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay. You need to be getting 5 out of 5 here. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's an embarrassment. All right.
Sure.
Just to give you an idea of the sort of caliber you're dealing with here. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. We're gonna try. You're gonna share my screen now, Jay. So if you can do the thingamajig, that'd be great.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay, guys. So Pixel Perfect, if you don't know, guys, we pixelate cover art of games. Jay's got to guess him. Jay will try and audio visualize it a little, but he knows this game already. So Jay, what does this game look like?
Do I just tell you now?
Sure.
This is Witcher 3. 100%.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well
boy. I've looked at that bloody cover a lot recently.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Right. Oh, by the way, Jay, why did they change the cover for the next gen update? Because I would argue it looks worse.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Okay. Next up.
I'm glad it doesn't say the name at the top because that would be annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this one. This is Last of Us.
Final answer.
Wow, is it Last of Us 2? Well, I can't tell. It's either Last of Us or Last of Us 2. I'll go with Last of Us 2.
It is Last of Us 2. Well done.
Sweet. Yeah, I feel like the first Last of Us had a slightly different cover.
Definitely a different colour shade. The first one's a bit more greeny. Oh, Jay, I've lost you.
I know. I'm here.
You coughed out the laptop.
My screen, like I told you, my screen is not attached to the laptop anymore.
I understand.
So I might have to readjust. Give me a second.
Yeah, all good. This show is brought to you by Viagra.
Hang on.
If you take one pill, you'll never have sex again.
That's a weird one. Okay, I think we're back. Bloody hell.
Groovy. Right, next up, Jay.
Hang on. Oh, that's Legend of Zelda. God, what was it called? Is it Breath of the Wild?
Correct.
Is that what the latest one is called? Sweet.
Well done.
That was a big. I don't really know much about Zelda, so that was a big guess. That is Overwatch.
Correct.
Zelda. Yeah.
Well done. Now for
this has to be
finish.
the easier one. Oh no! What is that?
I have to admit, even I'm struggling to. Oh, I remember now.
I actually don't know. That was probably the hardest one. Oh crap! I can't.
There is a theme.
There's a theme.
There is a theme.
That's a bit of a weird theme. Witcher, Last of Us, Zelda, and Overwatch.
Think about the games there, Jay.
RPG.
No.
Oh, are they? Well, they're not sequels. I actually don't know this one. It's going to piss me off. Because I feel like I should recognise it, but I don't. Oh, god damn it. I actually don't know. I might have to skip this one. God damn.
I'll give you one more clue.
Please.
So nice. Think about the caliber of the games.
Caliber? You mean like 10 out of 10 almost, kind of?
Okay.
Or like AAA? Is that what you mean?
No, you were more along the right lines the first time round.
Just like highly beloved games, then I guess.
Hmm.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to skip. That's going to piss me off. As soon as I see it, it's going to piss me off.
Okay. I'll tell you the theme first, Jay.
Yeah.
Overwatch was Game of the Year 2015.
Oh, so
Zelda Breath of the Wild was
these
Game of
are
the
all
Year
game of the
2017.
years.
So what's this game, Jay?
If this game of the year, well, Elden Ring was last year.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was the year before.
Yeah, you can.
I don't think it was Horizon.
No, that was this year.
I don't know.
Swearing, Jay. Lots of swearing.
Swearing.
Yeah. Fuck the Oscars.
What? You're losing me.
Oh, okay. It's It Takes Two.
Oh,
Director
Jesus.
swore infamously.
You could have put a gun to my head. I would never have gotten that.
There you go.
I don't think I've. I think I've seen that cover twice in my life, briefly.
4
God, It Takes Two is such a forgettable game.
No need to slant it, Jay. No need to slant.
Sure. Well, I mean, it was good, but not memorable. Clearly.
Right. That is 6 points, Jay.
That's
Now
not
that I'm
bad.
showing my screen, Jay, we might as well continue with the next share. So, next round number 3, back on the map.
Okay.
Jay, here I have a very ingenious round that me and Elle composed ourselves. Okay. Before you is a silhouette of a map, and I want you to tell me the game.
Oh, damn it. Oh, I know what it is. But you've distorted it somehow, right?
I will say the images are a bit distorted just because I've enlarged them. So some of them are a bit distorted.
This is Pokemon. I have a feeling.
Okay.
It looks like
need
Pokemon.
a region.
Oh god, what was the region called? So it's Leaf Green and Fire Red. So is it Leaf Green and Fire Red, or is it? Yeah, I think it's Leaf Green and Fire Red. I think it's Johto.
Tell us the key characteristics of the map, Jay. How can you tell?
You've got the bicycle road that goes all the way down,
Yeah.
and then it comes to the right into the safari bit, and then the
Yeah.
bottom left you've got the fossil laboratory where you go to get your fossil or make your fossil.
Okay.
And then that's about as much as I can remember of that, really. The rest of it is all.
I will give it to you, but it's actually the Kanto region.
Kanto, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was. I mean, that's a very very old art of Kanto. That's like original Kanto. That's not like Leaf Green and Fire Red. That's red and blue Kanto region.
Yeah, sure, and very distorted as well.
Yeah.
Next up, Jay. By the way, the black is the map. I don't want you to be confused.
I think I actually know what this is, and you're going to be surprised that I know it.
I'm not surprised.
Do I just guess?
No, tell us a bit about the map and why you think it's the game you think it is.
I need to actually remind myself if it is actually that game or not. And if I remember the map correctly or not, I could be so wrong. I have a feeling it's GTA San Andreas.
Why do you think that?
Because I seem to remember there being sections of the game in each of the corners.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the corners was smaller, and that's why I sort of have a feeling it could be that.
Jay,
please tell me I'm right.
You are absolutely correct.
Yes.
Well done.
Man, that it was funny. But when you first said to me we're going to do maps, I thought to myself, he's going to do San Andreas. 100% he's going to do San Andreas. I just knew it instantly.
Next up.
Oh damn. Okay. I have a feeling I know, but I think I'm wrong. Because it doesn't. Oh, hang on.
Explain what it looks like, Jay.
It's one of two games.
Okay.
It looks like a bunch of islands, is what it looks like.
Okay.
It's either AC Black Flag or Odyssey. It's not Odyssey, so it has to be Black Flag. I think it's AC Black Flag.
Jay,
Please tell me
you
I'm
are
right.
correct.
Yes, Odyssey has a bit more mass than that, and that
Look at
middle
that.
one looks like Jamaica Cuba-y type thing, doesn't it? I think that's where it is.
I
So.
think it's Cuba, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the two. I always forget.
Very good. Very good. Got
Man.
lots of good memories. Look at that, Matt.
Mm.
Next up, Jay.
Oh, damn. I don't know if I know this one. This is going to piss me off, isn't it? No, that map doesn't look like that. I don't know this one, I don't think.
Explain to
Do
the
I even have a
listeners
guess?
what it looks like.
It's just like a solid sort of blob. It almost looks like Ditto from Pokemon. Like it's sort of got a very wavy bottom and a sort of like crappy top. Almost, it reminds me a bit of what like Australia looks like. Oh God, I don't think I actually know this one. I'm gonna guess, and I think I'm wrong. Just like Just Cause.
Final answer?
Yeah, I think I'm wrong, but I have no other idea.
It is, in fact, Jay, Skyrim.
Oh wow, I haven't looked at that map in a long time. That's funny.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'd guess that from a mile away, but that's because I've spent too much time.
Yeah, you spent way
playing
too much
Skyrim.
time on that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, fair play. I think Just Cause was I get where you were going with that. Last up, Jay. Very
just
last
educated
map.
guess. Oh God. I might just have to guess Just Cause again. Oh no, this is Horizon. I think. Is this Horizon? Damn it. I think this is Horizon. I think it's wrong, but I think it's Horizon.
Okay. Okay. You don't have to rush. There's not a rush here, Jay. But
I know, but I'm not going to be able to, like, I'm going to sit here too long. I think it's Horizon, but I think I'm wrong.
Okay. It's not, I'm afraid.
Fuck.
It is, in fact, Red Dead 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Ha.
And that's the original bit from the first game down there in Austin.
Yeah.
And West Elizabeth to some extent.
Yeah. I still need to finish that game. Halfway through it. Might as well probably call me Halfway J at this point. That's my
Now that's a better nickname than we've ever come up with. Let's be honest
Halfway
about it.
J. That is 100% my new nickname.
Oh my god! Right, let's take us back to the normal screen, please,
All
Jay.
right, hang on.
That was round number 3. I believe you got 3 out of 5 there.
Yeah, I can't even remember now.
9 out of 15. Not a bad score, Jay. Not a bad score.
Okay.
Right, we're gonna try something different now, Jay. Might not work. I'll try my best. I have set my audio settings up so this works, but round number 4 is the music round. So without further ado, I'm going to play it very bad quality into the microphone. See if you can guess.
Oh,
okay?
that's better than Okay.
Let me skip to a bit you might know, alright?
Yeah, please. That is very. I have a feeling I know what it is already, but.
You did your worst, you tried your best.
Oh.
I have to keep talking because it's like 10-second breaks, so I'm just gonna have to. That's what you're getting.
I think this is
Write
wrong.
down your answer, please.
Okay. I think it's wrong, but I think the music I have is without lyrics, so I've never heard the lyrics before. I think I'm wrong, but I'm gonna be pissed off if I'm wrong.
Hey, no, you could be right. You could be right. I just want the game. That's all I want. Okay.
All right, I've
Right,
written it
next
down.
up.
I've written it down. Oh, screw you, dude. That song is burned into my children's memory at this point. If I ever have children, that'll be burned into their memory from my genes. Like, my DNA is made of that song at this point.
Okay,
Jesus Christ. I will say that soundtrack is probably in my top 3 video game soundtracks of all time. No joke. It is bellissimo. It's amazing. It's so good. Oh my god. It's perfection.
Here we go. Oh, here we go, Jay.
Oh. Yeah, okay. I could be wrong about that as well. There's so many of these I could be wrong about, that's the thing.
Number 3. Now, moving up to number 4.
Okay.
I've got to check this one myself because I didn't check it before I started.
Damn it, I know it. Oh, god damn it! Screw you! I do know this.
You do know it. Yeah.
That one is the tough one because I know it, but it's gonna piss me off. I don't remember what it is. That should be the easiest one.
I'll play it again.
Please.
It's taking a while to kick in this time,
Yeah.
so I will keep talking over it in case of copyright strikes. Here we go. Here's the main theme.
That is gonna piss
There you
me
go.
off. I'm blanking on that.
We'll
And
come back
I
to
know
it,
you're
right?
annoyed at me for blanking on it because I
I'm
know
not
that's
annoyed.
like so obvious.
I mean, it is obvious.
I
Really
can't
obvious.
remember. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, it's fine. You're only a fucking idiot, right? I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Well,
Right, okay.
well.
Last one. Here we go.
God damn it! That's
Number
actually gonna annoy me.
5.
When was the last time I played that game? That's the question.
I think that might be the hardest one on the list.
Oh,
That's
I
all I'm
think I
giving you.
know it. Hang on. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna put it just in case.
Right. What repeats do you want?
I can't. If I listen to that fourth one again, it's just gonna piss me off. So
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be. I cannot believe it. I can see it in my mind's eye, but I cannot see it in my mind's eye.
I can't even see it. All right.
Oh
Jay,
god damn it!
what's your guess for number 1?
I have a feeling it's Days Gone, but I could be wrong.
It's Red Dead 2, I'm afraid.
Again, haven't played it for long enough to remember. Fair
Sorry.
enough. Fair enough.
Sorry, not sorry. But the next one I gave you for free.
Yeah, that's Persona 5, 100%. Jesus
It is
Christ.
Persona 5.
Oh my god. And you picked
What'd
like
you guess for
you
number
literally
3?
I think you picked the intro song. Like, you could have picked a way harder one.
Yeah, well, I didn't know which ones were that commonly known, you know?
To be
'cause I
honest,
played
out
it.
of the whole soundtrack, I'd say half of them are fairly common, half of them aren't. So you could have, it's like 50-50 to be honest. You could have
Fair,
picked a really
fair.
obscure one. I probably still wouldn't have got it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to be a dick, though, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What's your guess for number 3?
Could be wrong again. I think it's AC Origins.
So Witcher 3.
Oh really?
Yeah, really,
It sounds so like Middle
really.
Eastern though.
Egyptian.
Yeah, it kind
Yeah.
of sounds very like middle of the world.
I'll see if I can play that. You might reckon. I mean, I thought you might recognize it because you played it recently, but you might recognize this this bit.
Oh yeah, that bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. If you had played that, I
Alright.
probably would have got it. Damn it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
this
enough.
fourth one is you're gonna say it and it's gonna piss me right off.
It's funny you say 4J.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I know what it is now.
COD 4.
Yeah, COD 4.
Modern Warfare.
Jesus. It's been way too long, dude. It's been way too long. Okay.
But you knew it. You knew it in
I
there.
did.
You had it in there.
I had a
you
fit-
had
I-
it.
I knew it was like a shooter, but I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I was getting
Fair
annoyed. Right, this
Any
last
clues
one.
on?
I
Yeah.
think, like you say, I think it's Horizon. I could be wrong.
Spot on, Jay. Well
oh
done.
wow, that was the hardest
Very
one
well
apparently,
done.
according to you.
Well done.
Yeah, that one again. I played that one probably out of all of them fairly recently. So, although yeah, I don't know.
Very good.
Yeah, that one
Very
was like
good.
a hidden thing in my mind.
I think you did well to get that one over the other ones, frankly.
Yeah, I
So,
guess
yeah.
I must have played it, listened to this music more than I thought. Clearly,
All right, Jay. Last round already. Look how quick
Please,
this is
yeah.
going, eh?
this is great.
All right.
I'm having
Here
fun.
we go. Round number 5. Guess who? You have 2 options: me or you.
Oh,
Nick or Jay.
okay.
Okay. Question number 1:
Numero uno.
Who has more games installed on their Series X right now?
I currently have roughly 15.
I need a guess from you before you
I
tell
know.
me the answer.
I'm just gonna like visualize in my mind. I think I've got how
Yeah,
many is
sure.
on each row? I think it's 5.
I think it. Have you got yours on? I'll turn mine on.
Yeah. I mean, I could
I'll
just
turn
look.
it on. I think it's 5, Jay. I think it's 5.
Could just look. I just want to double check to see how many I have. Can I even
I
check?
think it's 5. have a look. It's 6.
Okay, if it's 6 per row, 6, 12,
6 per
18.
row.
Maybe 6, 12, 18. Oh, maybe I have 20, 22 then? I think I have more than you, honestly.
Okay, write down your answers, please.
Because, yeah, I think me. I'm going to go me.
Okay. Go, Jay.
So,
Okay.
J. Let's look J. I think
Question
only
number
because
2.
I feel like you've got
go
a
on, sorry.
lot, but
Yeah.
like they take up. Like, you'd have to have downloaded loads of like indie games for it to be too much.
Just to be clear, by the way, I haven't, decided to either remove or download loads of games just for this question.
Plus, you do delete games a lot, so I'm just going to go with me.
Okay.
It's probably
Question
you
number 2.
because my fucking luck,
It's me, Alia. Question number 2. Who has more achievements on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, well, that's okay. That's an easy one.
Yeah, I'll give some for free, Question number 3. These are both related to the same game.
Okay.
Who has more gamer score on Final Fantasy 13?
Oh, piss. I do know this without cheating. I think they all can't. I've put me for every single one so far. They can't all be me. I think it is me.
If it helps, Jay, I obviously didn't know the answer to the first question until you told me, so that one is in the air anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get. I've put the first 3 as me, and I think that one of them's got to be wrong.
Who has more? Sorry, is that you done with that question?
Yeah.
Question number 4. Who has more achievements on Final Fantasy 13?
So the third question was who has the most gamer score,
Yes.
and the fourth question was who has the most achievements.
Correct.
I think that's you. I probably got them the wrong way round. Funnily enough, honestly, chances are fucking wrong way round, aren't they? I know it's one of the way rounds, but I probably got it wrong. Piss and shit.
Question number 5. Who has more gamer score?
Overall?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That's an easy one, I guess. All right. Can I just point out, I think you have almost exactly double what I have.
Interesting.
Almost exactly, like to the number.
Okay. All right.
And it annoys me.
Right, Jay. Let's go through. Who has more games installed on the Series X?
Me. Jay.
You definitely do.
Oh, really? How many do you have?
I have 12.
Oh, I think I have, over 18. So like 20 something.
I have
That
2
can't be
rows
right.
at the moment.
Really? How
Yeah.
much bloody space you have left?
Like 64% or something.
What is that in gig?
I'll turn my TV back on.
Oh, because I think I've got about 120 gig left with 22 games
have
installed.
240 gigs left. Oh no, I've used
Jesus.
more. Actually, I've used 70% storage. I usually have about 4 games installed, but I've got a little bit
Really?
more than I usually
I don't
do.
think I've had
Yeah.
less than 15 games installed since I bought it.
Oh man, nah. Fucking
Genuinely,
no
I
chance,
have.
mate.
I think minimum I have 15. Minimum.
Not a chance. Not a Scooby. Right.
Huh.
Very good. Point for you.
Yay.
Now let's move on to the second question. My phone's locked, but the question was, oh my god,
Oh God.
who has more achievements on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Me, Jay.
You do.
I beat you by 1 because
Thanks,
one of
Bugs.
yours is bugs.
Question number 3. Who has more games scored on Final Fantasy 13? You said.
I think it's me, Jay. But it's probably the
It's
other way
me.
round. Yeah, it's you. Which means that the next one is wrong. Of course it's the other way around.
Yeah, you've got more achievements. You have 20 achievements. I have something like 17.
Okay.
I have 490 gamer score. You have something like 420 or something. to
Yeah,
that
okay.
degree.
I know it's 50-50, I guess.
It's something like that.
Jesus. I think
Question
the only
number
reason it's
5.
like that is because I played it again recently, didn't I? So,
Correct.
yeah. I must
Question
have picked
number
up.
5. Who has more gamer score?
You, by double.
I know, I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
Very good, Jay. End of the round. So you got 2 points?
I'm curious to know, actually, if I hadn't have played PS4 for all that time, how much gamer score I'd have right now.
Definitely.
It'd
Well, how
probably be
many
about
trophies you
100.
got,
It'd
you know
probably
what
be
I mean?
150. Somewhere in that
it's minimum,
ballpark.
right? Minimum.
Probably.
Jay, I have the best bonus question in the world for you right
Bonus
now.
question, he says.
One last question to finish off the TGO annual
One
quiz.
ring to rule them all.
Are you ready for the question?
Who knows? Go on.
How many players
Oh God.
have
How much?
the achievement
Oh.
of getting their hit counter to 50 on Avatar? And just to be clear, this is the top achievement. On
Yeah,
Avatar.
because it's the 1000G, like instantly, isn't it?
It's the 1000G. I've got two options
So-
for you, okay? Just two.
Okay.
Two options. A, 90.04%, or B, 74.38%.
That's hilarious. Because if it's either of those numbers, that's dumb as shit. Can you imagine someone playing that being like, oh, this is easy, I've seen people do it all the time, and they just don't get it? It's like one of the easiest. It's like one of the easiest. You absolute tit.
That's the last question for you.
I want to. Oh God! And again, you give me a 50-50.
I know that's better than fucking guessing.
I'm gonna
mate.
go, even though I think it's wrong and I'm an idiot. I'm gonna go with the A.
It's B.
Yeah, of course it bloody is.
74.3. Can you believe that, Jay?
I can. I just have a bit more faith in humanity. Clearly, I shouldn't.
Jay, let me tell you, right? So it goes something like 90%, 80%. No, that's a lie. 90%, 84, 80, 90, like 78, 74.
Wow,
like,
that's
people
embarrassing.
have genuinely not got the full hit.
That's
on their
embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing. As
I think,
well.
if anything, it's a good scale. Again, like, if you're a gamer, ask them that question. How many of the achievements on the outside game you got? Come on. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell me the truth.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
That's
Oh,
interesting.
okay. Bye.
Yeah, you know what?
See ya. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
That's
So Jay,
brilliant.
out 25, you got a 25, you got a 13. So almost half.
Well, that is half. Technically, half would be. Well, it's 26 questions, really.
I don't know. I just didn't want to count the bonus one to make you feel better.
We'll go with 50. 50% in bad. So it's a fail,
Very
but in
good.
bad.
It's not a fail if you're in the degree.
I think I did a lot
don't
better
think.
last time, actually. I think I got like 20 last time, didn't
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
All right, that was fun.
That was
Okay.
fun. Bloody hell. Jesus Christ.
Let's finish the week and wrap up and just talk about what we've been playing then. So I really want to speak to you about your game. So let's go with you
Please,
first,
yeah.
right?
I just want to bring
You've
up
been
one
playing
thing
high
really
on-
quick.
Oh, please, yeah.
What is your opinion on the Last of Us show? Because Dad
I
wanted me
haven't
to
seen
bring it
it,
up.
just to
I
let
think.
you know.
You haven't bothered
Oh,
watching
okay.
it, then you're not really fussed, or
Sure. My opinion is my opinion, as it has been for most adaptations.
okay,
I'll address Mark if that's okay with you, Jay. Mark,
sure.
even if the TV show is very good, let's call it good, okay?
Okay.
One, it's being compared to other adaptations from video games. Two, every scene I've seen on the trailer is basically the game, but worse.
Right.
I'm just being honest here.
Interesting.
I'm not going to watch it. And frankly, unless it stands as a TV show, not a adaptation, not a video game adaptation, a TV show, unless it stands on its own 2 feet as that, I don't care. So, for instance, I think something that's pretty successful in the multimedia format is The Witcher. The books are obviously quite successful. The video games, incredible in their own right. And the first season of the TV show, remarkably
Season.
well. First season.
Only the first season. Second one was abysmal.
Season
was it
one
bad?
was really quite great.
It was about
So
as
in
close as you
that
could get
respect-
without it being like annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So I think that's an example of why I'd be interested in something, right? And yeah, there are other examples too. Maybe Jay likes the Dragon Age show. I like Arcane. I like the Cuphead show.
There's a Dragon Age
so there
show?
are there's a what? There's a cartoon on Netflix, an anime on
Oh, right, okay. I thought you meant like an IRL thing. I was like, well,
Netflix. Oh, sorry. No.
Live action, I should say.
So, Mark, that's my thoughts on it. I've got no interest unless unless you tell me otherwise. All right,
Okay.
and that I'll move on to what I'm talking about there later. But that's my opinions.
Sure.
So, Jay.
Yeah, what I've been playing. I want to discuss High on Life really quick.
Please do.
So I played that. That's another game I played over Christmas. I finished the whole thing. I went to go finish off the last like 4 or 5 achievements, and they're bugged
completely.
What
sort of achievements are they? Like all the collectibles?
Yeah, collectible stuff primarily. Like collectibles and like a few like little sort of like secret-y type mystery type things. Right. Like hidden sort of gem type in the game kind of things. And so I go to finish one of those and it bugs. And I'm like, right, okay, I'll Google this. Turns out it's bugged for everybody. So I'm like, right, okay, I'll wait, and then what I'll do is I'll wait for the patch. I'll then download the patch. I'll go in the game and wait for my achievement to pop, because I've done all the requirements to get the achievement to work. Patch comes out yesterday. I download the patch. I turn on the game. Achievement does not pop. It's definitely been fixed because it's working for everybody else. But it turns out the way they had to fix it is they had to reset most of the progress for that achievement to work for you to have to get it again. So they've reset me to a point where I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So I probably spent about 3 or 4 hours trying to get to that point, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that again.
So how in game have they literally put the collectibles back in the world?
Well, so this I don't know. What I'm a bit worried about is that the things I've already done can't be redone. So in the game, there's a checklist of things you have to do, and one of those things on the checklist is to buy certain things from a vendor that you can only buy once, and I've bought them all already. So what do I do? To start again?
I'm so sorry to be a dick, Jay. Your hat looks like you've got the hair of a Japanese girl.
What?
Your hat looks like you've got the hair of a Japanese girl.
I can't see it, honestly.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, Jay. Sorry.
Okay.
So you've had to go to these vendors. So have they reset all the vendors? You can go to them again.
I haven't even bothered to look, to be honest, because I'm pissed. I'm just pissed off. It literally, I think there was one achievement, right, or one part of the achievement where you had to kill this one enemy that only spawned if you reset in a certain way, and I had to do that for about 2 hours. I had to kill 60 of this one enemy for 2 hours. No.
Is that the only way you can get the achievement?
Yeah, the only way you can get the achievement, unless you deliberately kill that type of enemy during the campaign, like in a certain area, which I didn't bother to do because I didn't look. So it only respawns once you complete the game. It only respawns once, and then once you kill it, it's gone. So you have to kill it and then reset the checkpoint to be able to do it over and over again, and it counts.
That's unbelievable.
Yes. So I'm done with that game, I think, at this point.
Bad news.
Yeah.
What I'm interested to talk to you about with this game, Jay. This game's very divisive.
It's not a terrible game. It's kind of
a big hit.
Okay.
But I've heard it's okay at best.
Yeah, okay at best is what I'd describe it as. It's mid.
So what?
It's like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 at a push.
What motivated you to try and finish it if it was only okay?
It wasn't that long.
Give me some time frames. Come on.
God, how long did I spend on that game?
4 hours? 5 hours?
No, between 8 and 16. Maybe like 10 or 12 at a push. Like I think the main story was like 8 hours, and then obviously I'd spent about 4 hours trying to get other achievements. So maybe 12.
Did you find the gun and the humor too much, or
you can actually change the amount they talk in the game, I think. But yeah, all that stuff was very like, it just reminded me of like Rick and Morty. Honestly, it was very like sort of Adventure Timey, Rick and Morty, Futurama-y level of. It was very like vulgar, but in a good way, I guess. It was fine. It didn't annoy me. I thought it was actually quite interesting. I think the story carried it. Let's just say that the story was actually not too bad.
I've heard the story's not great, but I haven't played it.
I didn't mind it. I thought, if anything, it kind of just reminded me of Futurama, kinda.
Okay.
But like a more
And what,
zoomery version.
What was the combat like?
Yeah, it was quite smart. So each gun you had like a different thing. It almost felt very Ratchet and Clanky actually. In that each gun had like a certain thing it would do, and you kind of like needed to use that gun in a certain way to traverse part of the areas.
Nice.
So yeah, it was very much like Ratchet and Clank, and I think you'd actually like this game a lot. But
I haven't tried it yet.
I think
I was put off by everybody else. To be
I
honest with
think
you, mate.
if you played it for an hour, you'd be able to know if you liked it or not.
Okay.
You'd be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Does it? But how does it play in terms of its first-person shooting?
Pretty basic.
Okay.
Not very much to it necessarily. It's
Okay.
just sort of like, again, I was playing it more for the story more than anything else, which is funny that you said it wasn't that great, because I thought that was probably the best bit about it.
Okay. All right.
Like, it was funny in a unique way, I guess. I don't know.
Were you planning to play it, by the way, or was it just you just dipped in and you just enjoyed
it was more of a
yourself
last
and-
second kind of thing. Like, the day it came out, I was like, should I just download it? I guess. Like, this is while I was playing Witcher, and I was kind of like falling out of it, so I thought I'd play High on Life instead. So it was more of a trial and error type thing. Like I know the game isn't that long, so if I don't feel like playing it any longer, then I'll just stop. But I just kept going. I wanted to see what happened. I was interested in what the ending was going to be. The first hour of it, I was like, oh, it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, Jay. Look,
It grabbed my attention pretty well.
as much as I love you, we're gonna have to address this because you've you've chosen to play High on Life over The Witcher 3.
Yes.
And this is a problem, Jay. No,
Yeah.
it's not a problem. But
Well, I
people
think
will be annoyed at that.
one of them grabbed my attention more, but one of them was more of a slow burn. I was just kind of more in the mood for a fast burn than a slow burn. Let's just
Immediate
go with
hit.
that.
Yeah, sure.
I needed that action movie kind of gameplay rather than that slow movie kind of gameplay. Because I think, I'd been watching slow movies at the time, so I was kind of like, I'm done with that now. I need something a bit more fast paced. So that's which is another reason why I played this other game I've been playing as well. So.
Sure. I think it's the biggest hit on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it became
most
number
played game.
one most played and downloaded game on Game Pass, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is kind of insane. It's like record breaking.
Yeah.
Although there's news now out there about the creator of Rick and Morty
Yes,
being
can
done
we-
for battery or something. I don't even know.
Can we address that quickly, Jay? Since you brought it, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you've brought it
Yeah, I
up.
wasn't going to either, but I thought I might as well.
You obviously brought it up. I know, because it's interesting. Just to be clear to everyone, we're never going to bring up that information or that whatever's going on from a political perspective.
Yeah.
So a lot of gaming podcasts you'll listen to will be basically they'll bring it up because they want to demonize individuals and companies and things.
Yeah.
And this isn't me defending Activision Blizzard, right? But when charges are made, innocent till proven guilty, that's
100%.
the way of the law.
100%.
And if you start demonizing people before conviction, then you can bugger off.
Yeah, it sort of fucks up everything, really, doesn't it? It's sort of like, well, it ruins that person's reputation, depending on whether or not they actually are a bad person or not. Because, like you say, innocent till proven guilty, and it also just makes you look bad. It's like, well, you haven't seen everything yet, so how would you know it's an accusation?
100%.
I hate that.
And Jay,
that bugs me.
We have an incredible thing that happened last year. One of the most incredible things the whole year.
Oh, I think I know what
We
you're gonna say.
have Johnny Depp and
Yeah.
Amber Heard.
That was amazing.
And that is the most illustrative, real-life example of how we're both right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or just like not to, jump to conclusions, basically.
yeah, I'm not saying not as in right as in we always knew Johnny Depp. Whatever. No, that's not the point. The point
No.
is, people demonize Johnny Depp.
They did.
They were fucking wrong.
Can you imagine the people who did though? What they're like? Like what did they do when they found out? It was like, oh, I was a bad person that entire time. They probably didn't think that. They probably just thought, well, he's still probably, he's
Still
probably
kicking.
yeah, exactly. Or like he's it was all wrong. Like it's like, well, they went to court. It's fine. It's fixed now. So
Yeah.
know.
Don't worry, she's defecating in someone else's bed. That's all you need to worry about.
Jesus
Don't worry
Christ,
about it.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I haven't actually looked too much into the. Is it Justin Roiland? Is that his name?
Yes.
I don't even know his
think so.
name. I looked into it very briefly. It was just sort of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. Whether he might have done that, he might not. I'm sure. I mean, from what I've seen of it, it looks almost like a sort of like a classic kind of like. It could have go one of two ways. Either he 100% did it, or it was more of a like much a lesser offence, and one party made it seem like much of a grander offence,
Yeah.
which is often the case, given the Johnny Depp case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not really invested because I'm not really interested in Rick and Morty, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, agreed.
Not really my
guys,
bag.
if anyone's out there telling you to either do or do not, in terms of if anyone's asking you to action anything based on that information, I personally would just stop listening to that.
Yeah.
But then that's me asking you to do an action, so maybe don't listen.
Until we know the result, you can't really say anything about it necessarily.
Well, exactly.
So we'll
Unless
wait
you
and
want to
see.
just start talking about all the rest ever and challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Yes, Jay. So the main game you've been playing, I see you've been quite far in it.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm on the grind at the minute. So, Midnight Suns,
by the way. Yeah.
It came out December 2nd. It got delayed and then it got brought back again. I think it was supposed to be brought out February of this. I think it was supposed to be February of this year, and then it got brought back again. So I think it was originally coming out in November, or no, October. Got delayed until February, and then got brought back to December. So I think that's fine, man. Which is I can see like from playing the game, I can be like, oh, I can see where they would have needed to have spent more time on fixing things, right? The
So
game
they should have kept the Feb release date.
No, definitely not. I think the game is fine as it is. There's definitely like the only bug I've come across so far. No, that's a lie. 2 bugs. Is like a visual bug when you do like a certain animation for a move, and then another one where if you hold skip on a certain thing when you're like going through a certain animation, it will then freeze and crash the game. So, which is luckily it saves just before that happens, so you can actually go right back to it and it'll be fine. So I just make sure not to skip that part anymore. And the visual bug is fairly easy to fix. Like literally all you've got to do is just either go through, like continue the mission, or just restart from the last checkpoint, which is fine. It takes 2 seconds. So nothing game breaking, thankfully. This game came out at if you wanted to get the like special edition with like the season pass and all the skins, it was like 90 quid, and I was like, ooh, I wouldn't mind buying that, but I can't necessarily want to pay almost 100 quid just for that. So I was like, yeah, I'll wait for the game to come, be out a while and see if it comes out on sale, and if it's like, a decent amount less than that, I'll get it. And a month to the day, so January 2nd, so we were still off for Christmas, or I was at least. The game comes out and it's like 60 quid instead of 90 quid. So I'm like, I can justify that because I've just now got some gift cards, vouchers for Xbox for Christmas, and I think I got £70 worth of vouchers. So I spent 60 of that on this game, and it was a massive risk because this game is very much up my alley. But it could have gone one or two ways. I feel like it was very Marmite for a lot of people. Either you love the game or you hate the game. I'm a massive fan of Firaxis. Like I've put hundreds of hours into Civ 6. I'm a massive strategy game player anyway. So I knew I was going to enjoy it. But there was always me and you were chatting earlier about. There's always a chance that it's going to be bad for whatever reason. I'd spent like about a week during December just like watching videos. Like, is the game any good? Do people actually like it? And I think this is actually a really, really good example of wait until the game's been out a while until you actually make that call, because all the videos that were coming out of this game, apart from maybe 1 or 2, were like, this game is terrible, it's going to be a flop. And then now, all those people who made those videos have completely done a 180 and be like, actually, this might be one of my favourite games of last year.
Is that because they didn't finish it when they made those?
Yeah, I think it's because they just didn't give it a chance until they'd actually finished it, and then being like, oh, actually, it's actually a bloody decent game. I actually think this might be one of the most underrated games of last year. I think it's bloody brilliant. One of my favourites in recent memory. I think the story is pretty phenomenal. I think the gameplay is top tier. So when you've got those 2 elements, that's already brilliant. It's turn-based gameplay. It's also card-based gameplay. The animations are crisp as shit in terms of like move animations. So like if Iron Man uses his like massive beam out of his chest, it looks amazing. Stuff like that. The skins for the characters, probably aren't as amazing as they could have been. They definitely could have gone a bit more extravagant, which I'm hoping they're going to do with the DLC that comes out. I'll go more into that in a minute. In terms of length, okay, I'll go with this first. The actual animations of the characters themselves aren't great. Like the way that they sort of look a bit sim-ish. If that makes any sense. Like they're not as flowy. They're a bit more robotic, more than I'd like. There's definitely
Sure.
aspects that are like pretty flowy, but like I feel like Firaxis aren't the best at making like human faces. They're a bit funny looking.
Oh, I thought you meant more sort of body animation.
Yeah, body and face. It's sort of like a mixture. Like the whole thing doesn't look as refined as maybe a Fallout. Even the Fallout isn't that great, but even like a Fallout has like a fidelity to like the face and the body that just makes it look a certain way. They're definitely lacking in that department, but they always have done. Like Firaxis and strategy games are more about. They're almost like a Monet. Like from far away they look amazing, but up close they're not that great looking. Which is kind of like this on steroids on this game. But again, it's not game breaking. It doesn't take me out of the story. I think if anything, it makes me like almost love it more, just because it's more of like my loving it for being slightly ugly. I guess it's like an ugly attraction to it. The story length was pretty amazing. So I think I spent about, what was it? I think it was damn it, was it 60 hours? I think it was 60 hours for the story. No, about 54 hours for the actual story.
So have you finished it?
I finished the story. Yeah, finished the story. It was about 55-ish hours for the story, which was an amazing amount of time. Considering I spent 60 on it, it was basically like £1 per. So it sort of fixed into that. I've now spent exactly 69 hours on the game. So I've spent about 14 hours extra after beating the story, because there is an end game. Well, there's kind of an end game. So the game has, I want to say, 10 different difficulty settings. There's like story, normal. There's like 3 harder ones, and then 3 ultimate hard ones.
So it sounds a bit like Outriders.
So yeah, Outriders in the way that it sort of like progresses as you go along. So to be able to unlock the next one, you need to have progressed a certain amount.
Right.
I'm at the point now where I've only just unlocked the first ultimate difficulty, just because I stayed on heroic 1 for the entire story. I didn't want to play it on normal because that was too easy. Heroic 1 seemed like fairly doable, so I was like, yeah, I'll just do that. It didn't improve the difficulty too much, but it made my progression and leveling up slightly better, because every time you go on a higher difficulty, you get more XP and more loot and stuff like that, right? So I did that, and I'm now at the point where I've sort of leveled up all my characters enough where I'm just about able to do the first of the ultimate difficulties. So I'm trying to make my way up to Ultimate 3. It's going to be a little while till I get to Ultimate 3, because once you reach the max level in the game, you can then prestige level, which basically just makes your stats better every time you prestige, essentially. So I'm doing that at the minute. I'm sort of grinding levels and friendship levels to make my stats better. But in doing that, I'm also having to so on the cards that you have in your decks, you can build certain decks, but you can also re-roll mods on the decks. And some of the mods are very, very rare to get, and they take a lot of resources. So I'm basically grinding resources, levels, and friendship levels, so I can have a really good set of characters to hopefully do the DLC with. This might be the first time in a long time where I've gone, you know what? Bring on that DLC. I cannot bloody wait. And the DLC comes out in February, so I ain't got to wait very long. Bloody brilliant. I cannot wait for the DLC. I'm very, very excited.
Sorry,
Questions?
Jay, yeah, I did just get distracted towards the DLC bit. Did you say what the DLC was? Sorry.
Not yet, no, so I can talk about that. The DLC is supposedly extra skins, hopefully. 4 extra characters, those characters being Venom, amazing. Deadpool, amazing. Storm, amazing. And Morbius. Oh my god, Morbius is one of my favourite characters in Marvel. The movie did him dirty, but he is a great character. Cannot wait for that. And then hopefully extra story and missions as well.
Sick.
Which is great, because I want it to be at least. So Firaxis have a good track record with their DLCs at the moment. Yeah, from what I know of.
There's got to be some more stuff than that, surely.
Well, extra story, 4 extra characters, and extra skins. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, but the skins and characters are Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Firaxis are known for their sizable DLCs. The XCOM DLCs were apparently very, very top quality. So I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that So I'm hoping for at least 10 hours, hopefully 20 hours of story.
Yeah.
I think that's asking too much if you ask me, but 10 hours is like kind of like what I'm sort of like realistically asking for.
And was that included in your 60 quid price?
Yes, so if you bought the special 90 quid one, but now down to 60 because of the sale, you got the season pass, which is every single legendary skin, basically, and all the 4 characters when they come out, and all the DLC stuff when it comes out. So
Nice. Okay.
yeah.
And I assume this game hasn't performed too well financially because it's on sale quite a lot.
Yeah, that's what annoys me. Like, for Axis, they make amazing games, but because they're strategy games, they tend not to do very well. I think the only reason this game has done even slightly well is because of the fact it's Marvel.
Sure.
I think that's it.
On
But
that-
I mean,
on
fuck me,
that
it's such a
note,
good game.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. It sounds like you obviously had a great time with it.
I'm having an absolute blast. It's annoyingly good.
Question on that front: how do you think this changes the Marvel gaming landscape? You know, with everything starting from 2018 Spider-Man, essentially.
I definitely wouldn't put this game in the echelon of PS4 Spider-Man, but it's right up against it. It's very close. If Spider-Man is a 10 out of 10, oh, that's a good question. Guardians is like a 9 out of 10. Or maybe even 8 out of 10. And then this is like probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10 as well. So I'd say it's probably in line, if not maybe slightly under Guardians.
So Marvel is still killing it with the games.
Yeah, I
then,
mean, they're knocking it out. Yeah, I mean, they had Marvel Snap win the Game Award recently. It's actually a decent game. I've been playing that a lot. I haven't played it a lot recently, but when it first came out, I played it a lot.
Since we've jumped off the films and TV, Jay, maybe we should just focus on the games now, right? That sounds like what we should do.
Oh, for Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be decent.
So, another question for you.
Yeah.
1000G, what we doing?
Oh, I'm pretty much there. So the only achievements I've got left. Oh, I've actually already talked about this. So I've noticed on a few games recently they've had a platinum for Xbox. Have you noticed this? Yeah, on a couple games they've included their own platinum trophy or
you
achievement.
Fucking what?
So on
son?
Marvel Midnight Suns there is a trophy or achievement to get every other achievement.
Oh no, yeah, but Jay, we've had them for years, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That is basically like a platinum, though, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So that's one of the achievements. One is I've got 3 achievements left to get. One of them is that.
I'm just having a look now. Yeah.
The other one is so in the game there's a light dark system. So depending, because there's a lot of dialogue choices in this game, depending on if you choose the light or the dark choices, you get different answers and different friendship points depending on which one you choose. And to get all the achievements, you have to go like all the points into completely light and then completely dark. But during one playthrough, you're only realistically going to get to either completely light or completely dark. So I went completely light, and I'm now making my way all the way back to neutral just so I can try and get to dark. And it's gonna take. That's probably gonna be the last achievement I get, basically.
Yeah, totally.
That one I'm just gonna get through just playing the game for hours and hours, essentially.
The achievement progress tracker seems to be quite good because
it's working phenomenally on this. Yeah, I'd say the tracker on this is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. Because on every other game, it doesn't work. The tracker never works in any games nowadays. This one works.
I don't think they've got
perfectly.
the time to format it, but yeah, no, that's.
I think that's what they spent the extra time on. They spent the extra time on formatting it. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. That is basically a sort of platinum achievement. I thought you meant as in like there was a separate.
No, there's not a separate thing. Yeah. But I kind of hope they do have that on every game now, where it's like complete every other achievement. That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. That's sick, man. I'm really glad it's a really good game and you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, achievements are fairly doable too. They're not difficult. There's about 5 or 6 achievements you have to get done during your first playthrough. And if you miss them, then you miss them. So, but luckily I followed a guide and I did them all. So.
Sure, but they are achievable pretty much.
Extremely. They're easily missed if you don't play the game properly. Yeah.
Okay.
If you just play the game without even bother researching it, you're going to miss them very easily.
Sure. Okay. Cool. All right. No more questions for me.
It's so good. I think the only downside to it that I can really think of is the classic Marvel lefty stuff, right?
Is it in there?
It's in there. It's heavy. It's heavy, dude. It's so blatant too. It's kind of like, oh, for fuck's sake, again. It's funny. Literally about an hour or 2 ago, just before I came on here, there was one bit of dialogue I had that was like, oh, that's not very in line with what you usually talk about. That's actually very opposite. Wow, Kind of surprised. But that's just one bit of dialogue out of the entire game. So yeah, it's funny.
You could just see it a mile away. Yeah.
There was one instance where a character brought up a topic where I was like, okay, this is definitely going in that direction, but it felt so out of left field. I was like, why would you bring that up other than to clearly put your agenda into place? Or your agenda into place. I was kind of like, that's so agenda-y. I was like, why? That was so blatant. It was like literally smacked me across the face with it. I was like, that was so out of left field. Ugh.
Literally.
Like so, it kind of like, I was like, for fuck. Why? It was so unnecessary. Like it almost felt like programming. It felt really odd.
Like, it sounds like that bit in Wonderlands where you meet that character and you're like, oh right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
You could have done without that politicky crap, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't need that, but fine, I guess. Whatever. Other than that, I'd genuinely give it like either an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Solid. And I plan on playing this game for literally hundreds of hours. Plan on it. My goal is to get at least 100 hours in this game before the next game I play, which is probably Hogwarts.
What is the next game?
Well, that's the thing, right? So, Persona 3 and 4 come out on Game Pass.
Big news,
in 5 days. That's annoying. One reason why it's annoying is because Persona 3 is supposed to be getting a remake, so I'm probably not going to touch that. Persona 4 I probably will play.
Platinum?
Potentially. And then
Jay, on go on before you forget.
Monster Hunter Rise. It comes out the same day. They all come out on the same day. 3, 4, and Rise all come out the same day. So I've got to pick one.
Right. Question on these, Jay. Right. First of all, question on Monster Hunter Rise. It's the same question for both. Okay. Why are you motivated to play Persona 4 when you know Persona 5 is better? And why are you motivated to play Rise when Monster Hunter World is probably as good, if not better?
That's a great question. I'll answer the Rise one.
In my mind, I struggle to justify that in my mind.
I think just because it's the same game, but it's the same reason why I wanted to play Valhalla after playing Odyssey. That's about as good of an answer as I can give you.
It's more of what you want.
More of what you want. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just more of what I want. Persona 4 is again heralded as, well, Persona 3 and 4 are heralded as one of Japan's favorite RPG series. So after knowing 5 is the best possible version, why would I not want to try something else? It's just more of what I want.
Sure.
I'm just a bit worried it's not going to be very good. But I also played the Persona 4 fighting game, and I really, really enjoyed that. So I kind of want to know where the characters come from, you know?
Sure.
I want to fall in love with the characters all over again.
I think you'll have I've only heard good things.
The thing is, I don't know if I want to start it yet. I kind of want to wait because Hogwarts is in February, and then we've got all of March. Well, actually, that's a lie. We've got bloody Star Wars in March. Bugger. We've got Star Wars in March, and then we've got Dead Island 2 in April. So chances are, I'm not going to start Persona until the end of April, anyway. To be honest.
Dead Island 2 might get pushed back anyway. Star Wars is a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Then what I would also say is that for now, you're going to wrap up Midnight Suns in probably the next couple of days. Maybe you want to
play that for a while.
Don't. Fair enough, but would you rather replay that after 1000G, or would you rather play through the majority of Persona 4 before Hogwarts comes out, which you could because you've got 2 weeks?
No, I don't think so.
2 weeks?
It took me a month to finish 5.
Yeah, but I think 4's smaller, right?
I don't know. I kind of want to give it its proper amount of time. I need to research it. I need to do a bunch of stuff.
I'd rather you play Rise, because you would definitely finish Rise.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what you to do. I'd rather you play this. No, I'm more likely to dabble on Rise just because it's a game you can easily come back to. Whereas Persona 4, you kind of have to. I play games in the same way as I listen to music. You start the album, you have to finish it.
Yeah.
I can't listen to an album halfway through and then come back.
Totally.
You need to give it its whole arc. So I'm going to give it its proper time. As long as it's on Game Pass for at least the whole of 2023, I'll be alright. If it comes off, then I'll be pissed, but I think it's going to stay on there.
I think I'll be.
I just as soon as I have a good amount of downtime between games, I'll start playing it.
All right, Jay. Let's wrap up the show. I'm going to tell you what I'm playing at the moment.
Please.
So 2 things mainly. Well, 3. 1, I'm playing Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga while I edit some shows.
Yeah.
Jay, I don't want to give too much of my opinion on it because you know what I'm like, but let's just say I'm having a fabulous time.
Good, I'm glad. I've always wanted to get into the Lego Star Wars games or any of the Lego games, but I just can't do it. It's just there's something about it that makes me kind of like not enjoy it.
There's something about it which I can't help but enjoy.
I guess, opposite ends, I guess. It almost kind of makes me think, well, if they put that much time into a Star Wars game, why not just make an actually good Star Wars game?
It
like
is a good Star Wars
Jedi
game.
Fallen Order or whatever.
I get you.
I know, but make another of the other good ones, you know? Like Lego Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, like one's clearly better than the other. Or superior, I should say.
But this has its own play.
The only reason they make them games is because they make money.
But the way I would phrase it is that Lego Star Wars is a game I could play at any age.
Yeah,
ever.
Sure. It's Well, so is Lego. That's the whole point.
5 or 55.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's the name. Right?
It's a collectathon. It's got nice, charming humor. Blah blah blah. So
I agree.
Whereas Fallen Order will probably not be playable in 50 years. Whereas maybe Lego Star Wars is more playable. You know.
Yeah, I'd say one is sort of more like generally friendly, whereas one is, I'd say, Fallen Order is more like the adult side of Star Wars.
Yeah.
One's for adults, one's for kids, and everyone else. So.
The other thing is a game, Jay, that I've never played all the way through, but because me and Will are going through this hard phase at the moment, I've always eyed it up and it was on offer. So we're playing through Resi 5 at the moment.
Awesome game. Yeah, I've watched Maximilian play through that game twice. So.
Oh really?
It's a good one.
Cool. Yeah, it's we're struggling on a couple of bits, but we're getting through. It
is definitely. Resident Evils aren't easy.
No,
they're really not. They're fairly skill based a lot of the time.
Yeah, but we're having a good time.
But yeah, I'm glad you are, because I see you on. I'm like, oh, he's playing Resident 5. Awesome.
It's funny you say it's strategic, Jay, because it's clicking. Like, even knowing what sort of game it was, even though I haven't really played many Resident Evils, it was clearly clicking with something on that difficulty scale thing.
Resident Evil to me is almost much like the same sort of feeling I get with the Dark Souls games. Once you've played one and gone through it, you're like, oh, I could do these easy. Like there's something clicks where it's like, oh, I really enjoy Resident Evil now, or I really enjoy Dark Souls now. It's exactly the same. I know. I can almost guarantee in 10 years' time you will have finished the rest of the Resident Evil games. Or at least gone through Village or something. Like they seem like right up your alley, seriously.
Yeah.
I feel like something's going to click where you're like, oh, I could really play the rest of the Resident Evil games.
I hear you.
They're so fun to watch more than anything. They're more of a spectacle for me than actual like. I'd much rather watch someone play it than actually play it.
They're really fun.
They are.
The other thing, Jay, is that I think that this journey I'm on at the moment is also unlocking a type of puzzle element in my brain too, which I've never liked in video games. So like Portal 1, I played through and I slogged through and I didn't enjoy it.
Amazing game.
I think if I went back and played it now, I'd enjoy it. Like something is clicking. Something is clicking. That's all I'm saying.
I think we've sort of entered a new era, or you have at least. The one that I've already been through, clearly.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I've definitely already been through that sort of like figuring out strategic puzzly type gameplay now, where it's like, oh, I can actually like, almost like compartmentalize, I guess, or like you can. It's almost like you're able to just like split everything up into a timeline, and just start from the beginning and work your way through, rather than seeing it as one big clump and going, oh, I'm not going to attempt that. You just need to separate it. Start one step at a time, and it's so much easier that way. And it feels like you're starting to click onto that a bit more, and it's good. It's a good thing.
The other game, Jay, which I'm sure you've seen me play, is Force Unleashed.
Oh, yeah. 1 and 2, I think, right?
Yeah, so again, I've never played them on the hardest difficulty. I really wanted that challenge. Tried out 2, did the DLC, because I bought it when it was like basically, Jay, the DLC for Force Unleashed 2 is 69p, so you're like, yeah, I'm going to get that.
Yep.
Every DLC that's that old should be that cheap, because I'm going to buy it.
Should be less than a quid, if not a quid. I'd pay 99p, 100%.
Literally, that's exactly right. Yeah. The DLC for Force Unleashed 1 are £7 each. Who the fuck
Ooh.
is paying that? It's probably an hour of gameplay. Are you fucking mad?
No, that's
So I'm waiting for that to go on offer because
tough.
I'm not fucking paying.
That's tough.
But I will play those because I haven't played them before. But yeah, long story short, I played through the DLC on Force Unleashed 2 without dying because there was an achievement there. But I've realised, Jay, that Force Unleashed 2 has not aged nearly as well as Force Unleashed 1 and is a much worse game in my humble opinion.
Yeah, it's very odd. You'd think it'd be an improvement, if not exactly the same. But it seems like a degrade than anything else.
I agree. I agree. So I've just stuck with the first game. So I'm doing a few grindy achievements at the moment. Today I unlocked the Sith Master difficulty by playing through the game once. I just ran through it. So I've just started, my hardest playthrough. So at some point I'll go through that as well. I'm not sure how difficult of a challenge it will be, but we'll see. And that's something I've always wanted to do. That's why I've re-downloaded it.
Sweet.
The last thing, Jay, I forgot to mention, and it's very important to me. It's on the Call of Duty front. Okay. So I've gone through, I've played all the Golden Era games, and now I finally have played the Modern Warfare reboot.
Oh, okay.
I've played it, I've finished it, and I played it on Veteran first time through.
Is it any good?
J. Okay. Have you played this game?
I don't think so. Can't remember.
Everyone I know who has played through this campaign should have sat me the fuck down and gone, Nick, play this game.
Oh, okay.
You need to play this game.
I don't know if
Jay,
I've played it.
I can't honestly believe nobody has told me to fucking play it. I can't believe it, Jay. It's the best campaign in COD since Black Ops 1 by 10 miles.
Okay.
I can't tell you, Jay, how good this campaign is. I genuinely can't tell you how good it is. It's everything I wanted in a Modern Warfare reboot and then some. I absolutely loved it, Jay. I absolutely loved it. Captain Price, the new actor, is perfect.
So was there a multiplayer for this game?
Yeah.
There was.
And this is where Warzone came from.
I completely missed this game. I genuinely, if you'd said to me, name all the Call of Duties that come out ever, I'd be like, this one, I would have completely missed it. It just came out at such a weird time. It's 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
2019 was a
so
weird year for me,
So it would have come out like 6 months before COVID, basically.
That was a weird year
so,
for me.
this is the one where Warzone got kicked off, basically.
Yeah, I remember playing Warzone, but not that.
So Jay, I got it on offer. I've played through the campaign. Now, all the all the achievements are based on the campaign. Fantastic.
Oh, that's
well
done.
I
just saw 27 achievements. Yeah.
Literally, and there's only 27, and you've got 2 for completing it, 1 for completing on Veteran, 1 for completing it, and then the rest are just misc achievements which you can go and polish up, which are sort of skill based during each level, depending on the level. That is exactly what I want in terms of achievements.
Sounds nice. That sounds really like appetizing. I think is a good word.
Mate, it's delicious. Right?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
and
then good. Sounds good to me. My mouth's watering. Definitely.
So, and then basically, I spoke to El about this because I was shouting at him down the phone. I was like, El, why didn't you tell me to play this game? And he was like, well, to be honest, Nick, everyone's played it, so that's why no one's told you to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
It's very popular. I
might have my renaissance. That's the right word. Renaissance of Call of Duty games in the future. I might go back and do all the campaigns again. I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe
all I can tell you, Jay, is that the Infinity Ward of today, they are the present existing renaissance of Call of Duty. That much I can assure you.
They're what?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Sorry?
Well, I didn't understand what you said. The present?
The present Infinity Ward are the current renaissance for Call of Duty.
Oh, you mean like they did better than?
They are doing much better games than the other developers for COD.
What, Activision and Sledgehammer?
Treyarch and Sledgehammer.
Oh, Treyarch and Sledgehammer, yeah.
And
yeah.
Raven, and Raven Software technically, but I don't want to get in.
I still think Ghost is one of my favourite Call of Duties.
Oh god,
it's so good, dude. I must go back and play that again. It was good.
It's probably backwards compatible, to be fair.
Yeah, I still have it.
So yeah, I can't rave about this game enough. Really, I genuinely, I'm lost for words. Okay. How much I enjoyed this game, and I will borrow Modern Warfare 2 off L, and I can't wait to play it. The idea of finishing this game and then waiting 3 years for the next one would boil my blood.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love it. I just absolutely love it. I'm super happy. Infinity Ward, you should be very proud of the work you've done on that game. It's bold, brave, different, exciting, terrifying, and everything that COD needed at the time. So yeah,
Okay. I just have one more thing to say.
please.
This I was reminded really quick. I think Ghost was one of the first digital that Call of Duty's ever bought. Like, I bought it digitally, not physically. And it reminded me, I
Ghost,
saw a statistic the other day. So apparently 90% of all video game sales in 2022 were digital.
Wow.
90%.
Shit.
We are
Must
in
happen
the
right?
digital game age right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying
totally.
physical anymore, apart from collectors, I imagine. It's insane. 90%. I'm kind of glad, to be honest, because I hate buying physical.
That's what I told Al, but then he made a good point that you can't, like, you know, a game like Ratchet and Clank, Jay, which is a game that you probably get done on a weekend. Yeah, it costs you 50 quid, but if you get it done on a weekend, you could probably trade it in for 35, 40 quid.
Yes, yeah. There is that. I mean, but that's probably what I reckon that game companies are probably happy that it's all digital now because you can't do that anymore. You can only
100%.
refund a game if you have downloaded it but not played it. Or even downloading a game, I think, even technically voids the refund now. I think you have to have bought it but not downloaded it. So yeah.
And then also, I think also you can say, look, I've contributed to this game as well, right? In terms of paying for it, supporting it. So that's good. And then also, it's easy to start up, isn't it? And if you do ever want to go back to it, you've got it there. Whereas if you trade it in, you can never go back.
My first thought is it saves on plastic.
Oh, interesting.
Saves on having to make all those discs. Like the costs are way down.
Yeah.
Imagine only releasing a game on digital versus having to sell millions of copies in physical that most of them aren't probably going to get sold. You're wasting millions of in sales that just aren't going to happen. Whereas digital, it's just there. People can get it if they want it, but seriously, at some point it's going to be 100%. They're going to get rid of physical. They have to. I reckon by the next generation of consoles, none of them will have a disk drive.
Sure.
They can't. They have to get rid of that to make room for the better graphic stuff that's going to be inside of it. It bugs me that this one even has one. I'd much rather it just not had one and been better stuff inside of it. Or even had like an extra cooling thing or like something, Put in an extra bit of CPU, do something. Get rid of the who needs disk drives anymore? But digital killed the physical style,
Yeah, and also like you say, like the running of the disk drive will increase the likelihood of the console going wrong anyway. So
yeah, most things that go wrong with consoles is the disk drive. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Like
right, Jake, we're gonna have to wrap up because I'm very tired.
I'm actually not as tired as I could probably go for another hour.
Fair play, man.
I've been staying up really late as of late, so I'm just used to going to bed at like 1 a.m. at this point.
You're a better man than I am,
I guess.
Thank you for your attention, Jay, and for your humour.
It's been a good catch up.
Everyone else, thanks for listening. Good catch up, good quiz. Hopefully we'll be back on a regular schedule, but no promises because I can't keep them.
We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see you guys when we see you.
Peace.